First map is not Rift Island, it's actually Force Nothing. So I'm really excited to see these two teams face off on this legendary map. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Why don't you guys believe me? Nobody believes me. I thought chat would be more gullible. I'm just kidding, it will be Rift Island. Turkman, are you there? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3, I believe I'm here.
Alright, sounds good to me. Chat, if you could just give me a yes or a no, or a good or a bad with the audio quality. I think we're good with the levels, Turk, so I'm excited to get this started.
That's what I call, like, no technical difficulties here, man. Just nailing it off the bat.
Yeah, dude. Much better than the start of the stream, I have to say. But that's all in the past now. That's all in the past. And we are going to 14 here and just get started in what will be a best of 5 between Secret and Frantic.
Oh, dude. I was watching the last game, and I cannot believe what I was seeing. To see these two teams in the final, everyone in this tournament has been an amazing player thus far. But this level we're going to see here, they want it so bad from both teams. So we're going to see some amazing plays.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how Frantic will face off against Secret. Secret currently near the top of the table, Frantic right behind them, I believe. I think of the overall standings in this event, we have SY number 1 at the moment. Then we have Secret number 2 and Frantic number 3. So these are two of the very best teams, not only in the world, based off playing and skill, but based off their rankings. And we start off with Rift Island. This is a crazy map. I'm going to introduce the Secret team, and then I will pass it along to Barbecue Turkman for the Frantic team. Vikings for Viper. Surprise, surprise. Vikings is picked by Viper. Seems to be sticking with the Vikings, which makes sense since he's from Norway. We have Tato, who's the Spanish pocket in the red. And then we have Dalt, who's the Portuguese flank for Secret.
All right, you're going to have to give me 1 sec here, because we were doing so well, man. We were doing so well. And then we had a crash.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'll continue. You just hop in whenever it feels natural, man. We'll just keep going here over to Vivi, who's in the blue. This guy's named Vivi. He is Fat Dragon. He's really DL. He's so big DL. He's 5 centimeters. You guys can guess what DL means in Chinese. He's a creative guy. He's a creative guy. He's an aggressive player. He's one of my favorite players in the game, and he's playing as Mongols. Miles and miles away from him is CL. CL is playing as the Spanish. And then we have Portuguese for Tim. So not a mirror matchup. We have Mongols and Vikings as the difference makers here. And Portuguese, pretty much a staple on a map where you want good communication, where you're using water play. And that's exactly what we'll have here. So for those...
Awesome, man.
Are you good?
We're good, man. We are absolutely good.
Oh,
you
sweet.
Nailed the intro. What can I say? The classic T90. I absolutely love it. Rift Island overall is a map as well. This was actually won, I believe, by one of the Escape map-making tournaments they kind of had.
Yes. Yeah, it's a cool map. There's that water element on the sides where you can fish, but also your water can come on this quicksand. So this terrain right here does extend to the center, so Navy can go in there if they would like to disrupt the zebras, or to disrupt the villagers that will be collecting the zebras, because that's why Mongols is a good pick. You can collect all that food really fast, and notably Vivi is really far away from the center, so I don't know if he'll be able to take good advantage of that.
Yeah, and I think in a couple of the other games we have seen, it's really been a debate where the players decide to push out to that center to try and get that bonus from there, while also risking the extra damage that comes along with it. Obviously, being so far away from the town center, going to have issues there. But, you know, it could be worth it depending on exactly what the team is doing. And in a 3v3 scenario like we're having here, you know, there's a lot of options for strategy around that.
Yeah, so Frantic destroyed SY on this map. And they had an excellent strategy, and their strategy was to go for heavy pressure on the flanks. So Vivi went heavy pressure last time, and then we had Tim going heavy pressure last time. And then the pocket just boomed. So we could have the same thing here from CL. The CL is docked in a safe position. Doesn't look like he'll be going aggressive. Saying that, though, Tato has done that for the other team. So we'll have to pay attention to those feudal age times, because if the feudal age comes in quickly for the flanks, that will probably fall in line with what we saw before from Frantic.
Look, it makes perfect sense, and it's a strong strategy overall. We kind of saw like how much difference we got from the one person slinging. Literally in the last game of the series, we were kind of watching that. So that kind of shows exactly what kind of strength you can have out of it, and having players where you need to, and a little extra resource really just goes a long way for a single player.
I just wonder what Viper will be doing here. Viper has docked somewhat forward, and Viper is Vikings, so he cannot make fire galleys. So he needs to click up the feudal pretty quickly, I'd say, to keep up with his flank. And will he try and advance here? No, not yet. We'll keep an eye on that. Vivi, the fat dragon, is the first one to advance. Surprise, surprise. And he'll be going most likely for water aggression, and then potentially land aggression after that. Water will be the priority as the docks are so close.
Ooh, I like it. I absolutely like it. We should be in for an aggressive game from the get-go. We have got walls from Tato already coming up. Was actually signaling to the rest of the team where the walls were going as well. And the way they're coming up, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is here. It's a big open area to defend. Obviously nice in the hands of the team, but that's a huge area to defend if pressure is, of course, put into the center there with Tato.
Yeah, well, I think that is a big sign that Tato will not go for any feudal age play. And likewise on the other side, the other Spanish player, CL, he's also adding extra fish. Actually, I say extra fish and he's a few fishing ships behind, but point is he has not clicked up to the next age just yet. And Turkmen, what's interesting here is with the starting positions, the Chinese players get more of the map. Looks like they get 55% or maybe 60% of the map, but that might not be a good thing for them because they're further apart from each other, and in a team game, you'd like to have some form of support from your allies.
Absolutely, and I would say that kind of Secret has recognized this fact as well. They're going for a team wall straight off the bat.
Yep. Yep, and that is kind of the norm in team games, but also the norm for Secret, who again, while they are very dominant, they're not dominant because of very early aggression. They tend to play much safer, more experienced, and the walls are almost completed. They better complete the walls at Doubt's side, because Vivi, he's going for scouts, and I'm surprised at this actually. I expected scouts at some point, but I thought that fire galleys would be the early priority. And since Vivi has not prioritized that early, I don't think he'll beat Doubt on this side, because Doubt is on gold, and he'll be going full water.
Interesting play there. Yeah, it's a really interesting choice. I think going the fire galleys kind of would have been a good option there. Go in, obviously, if you're up that early, you can kind of deal with the fishing ships quite quickly. Whereas now, I guess you can try and block that wall out, but of course the spears are already there. A couple of spears from Vivi as well, going to be a good to mix that one up. Try and keep that spear away, but here comes the villager pull, and there goes the rest of the wall.
Well, it was a bit deceiving because the spear was the starting spear. You start with a spear instead of a scout. So Doubt needs to create another barracks to have spears for the additional scouts, and he gates this up, and now he won't really need them because Vivi can't get in.
That's it. They had Tato over there with the spear as well. So again, good teamwork from Secret, as always, trying to get that defensive play. Not relying on a single player, but relying on their teamwork altogether.
Yeah, and on the other side now, Viper's doing a good job here against the early fire pressure from Tim. Tim said that he would grass Viper's sister years ago. That was where the whole grass thing started. So I guess Tim was probably looking for an insult at the time, and Google didn't help him out all that much. But demo from Viper, he has a few galleys, and Viper grasses Tim.
Excellent. And it looks like we're seeing a couple of kills against Doubt over here. So Doubt did lose a villager or two, just looking at our forensics in Age of Empires at the moment. But between both, I would say it's still pretty even overall.
And as it is even with Vils, it is not even with fishing ships. A Viper closes in. He'll chase those fishing ships away. I think this is an extremely good sign. An extremely good sign for the Secret players that Viper's doing dominant on water. He's doing well on water. Well, he needs to be careful. We know it's Viper, right? So his micro should be decent. And now that Fletching's on the way, I think that Tim's going to have some real troubles.
Oh man, the galley choice straight up is really good. I like it, being able to move it into support now with the demolition rafts. And we, like you said, Viper's got the micro that makes this work so fantastically. So if he keeps this up, should be in a good position. Unless it looks like he might get caught a little bit out of position here with a couple of these fire galleys.
Yeah, fire galleys still pretty strong. I guess the galleys don't have the numbers that Viper would like yet. He's been trying to micro back the weak ones. And yeah, he loses one there. And he could lose more, actually. Tim being more stubborn than I expected. Speaking of stubborn play, Vivi has been using these spears to annoy Tato. And Tato is now stonewalling up. And Vivi's having none of it. Vivi, he's going to tower this. Vivi wants through. Interesting.
Man, he is committed to breaking through this team wall right now. All the scouts sitting there trying to do the damage they can. Putting down the tower, just like you said, to deny any kind of walling behind it overall as well. So... man, he's committing to this play overall, and I'm just wondering if it's going to be too much of a commitment here. We've got both Tato and CL kind of looking towards going up now as well. In fact, already clicked halfway up.
Yeah.
So, ooh, and CL, this is awesome play against Viper as well.
CL is fully fish boomed. He'll go for Conquistadors in the next stage. Notice the difference here. If you were to have, if this was a hidden cup 3v3 and you didn't know the players' identities, you would assume that the players who were fully walled was the Frantic team. But instead, we have the secret players fully stonewalling really early, and that has given time for more aggression from Frantic, which is working. Viper, he hasn't been as dominant as I expected him to be on water, and Tim has looped around, and Tim could possibly hit Tato's fish, which Tato's prepared for. That's a big investment into walls from Tato.
That and the villager time behind it to make it as well. He's got that one demo kind of hanging out with his fishing ships at the moment there as well. Single fire galley is up against 3, all pretty high hit points, so not really going to be having any kind of major success there. Needs to make everything connect pretty well, but we've also got... oh, there we go. Got a demo hit there against Vivi as well. But man, this could be bad. Those fire ships could be going down against these guys, and then of course fishing ships going to get absolutely slaughtered.
If Tim can kill the fish here, it's quite a big deal. Because the Pockets are the strongest players in this map by far. They'll both have Conquistadors. Yeah, there's one fishing ship down. And Conquistadors are very costly. Very costly when it comes to food.
We've got
so
a
great
forward
job.
castle drop from CL.
What? A forward castle? That's amazing, man! That's amazing!
I'm sorry to cut you off, but...
no, it's fine!
Conquistadors out of it! His invite was economy!
So, you know what? This is just brilliant. They know that the secret players are trying to full wall, so CL runs all the way across the map, builds the castle forward, and Viper, I mean, there's children watching, so I'm going to watch my language, but he's screwed, man. He is screwed. He did not expect this castle.
That's 3 villages with a single conquistador. More conquistadors flowing out from that castle as well.
Yeah.
Scouts moving in as well from Vivi. Man, this is the dream. They managed to bust through the wall. They got into the economy. There's a single tower there for Viper. A single tower.
Yeah, it's not great for Viper. He can't add too many TCs behind this. He has no defense on land to conquistadors beyond a monk or two, which he could work on once he gets to the castle age. But look at the conks moving in. Viper's forced to fight with villagers underneath the tower. He's going to lose so much. This could be game 1 right here.
Oh, no. This is such an issue in general. The scouts will be able to back this up on top of this as well. Yep. Man. There we go. Forced away from goal. Second tower coming up. Only just hitting castle age.
Well, let's not forget that Doubt has 1 water on the other side. And if he gets these fires in to CL's fishing eco, this game could turn around. Tato has his own castle. Tato will send conquistadors to help Viper. So Viper's on the back foot. However, there is an opportunity now for the secret team to come back as long as Doubt does his part on water.
Well, that's it. End of the day, this is a 3v3 scenario, not a 1v1. Players have their team to fall back against. Tim pushing out against a couple more, well, more of Tato's dock, I would guess, at this point. But Viper there trying to defend as best as possible.
Yeah.
It does not have a huge mass of galleys, but it looks like it might just be enough.
Yeah, Vivi, I don't know if Vivi contributed all that much to where Frantic is at, you know? I'm still thinking back, why didn't he go aggressive on water? Because his scouts got in, but they just found another layer of walls. So that's the big difference now. Vivi's score is actually behind Viper's. Viper trying to keep these scouts out, and he will do with some nice little gates. But Vivi needs to get into the game now, and I wonder what his play will be. I guess now town centers and a few siege workshops for him.
Kind of boom up behind it and kind of reclaim a little bit of that lost time, I guess, is probably his best option here.
Wow, battering rams. This is how you know CL, who has been the MVP for Frantic recently. This is how you know he's confident. He goes immediately for rams instead of mangonels.
As they say, battering rams are for ending things, mangonels are for pushing. So here we go. We'll see if he can do some damage to this tower.
And
Should be able to
Vivi!
get it pretty quickly with the scouts in it.
Vivi killed that monk. That's such a big deal because all Viper's relying on is a few towers and some conversions. This tower will die. And, oh, can CL get conversions? Oh, Tato, he gets 3 conversions and he'll kill the monk. Wow. What an incredible play. That's crazy, man. Vivi killed the monk. CL gets 3 conversions. And the early GG, or not the early GG, at this point it's expected from Secret. The Vipers at 32 population and he calls it. What a sick play from Frantic.
Man, that came out of nowhere as well. I didn't even see the villagers move out across the map. To be able to kind of pull something like that off, very nice. They were looking so safe behind their team walls. And obviously the forward castle drop, that's the easiest way to bust in. And it happens so quickly, there's not really much they could do about it.
Yeah, I think that... I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I will say Viper was not very successful on water. I completely misjudged that. He was not successful on water. So there was that. If he was more successful on water, then this could have played out differently because Tim had the free fish boom, CL had the free fish boom, right? But man, that castle,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's such a simple thing. Now after the castle has been placed there and the game has been finished off, we say, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. But the boldness of that castle, it's not something you see a lot at the expert level. In fact, Tato, he was planning on building his base, as most players would do, regardless of what happened with the walls or what happened with Viper. That was just a smart strategy choice and great execution from CL. Yeah, it was sick.
And that's it. Again, it's a team game, and that's what we've kind of really been talking about here. And the fact that that kind of happened overall and the way that played out, it was 100% a team effort overall. You had Tim kind of pushing in across the water, obviously kind of creating that opening. Then that gave CL enough time to kind of move out across the entire map undisturbed because we knew what everyone was doing. They were focusing on that water zone over there. Even then, Vivi didn't seem to be doing too much, but I guess he gained the map control to be able to do that castle push. I don't know, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it makes sense now for us to think, okay, they had map control, you can build it forward. But if there were stone walls in Viper's base and he never got through, then he would have had no defense at home with a castle, which does happen sometimes when there's other conquistadors running around. So there's a lot of factors with that decision, and obviously it looks brilliant now. What we will do now is we'll go into Game 2. Game 2 will be Desert. Apparently the players had an issue with a drop, so we need to do this in a separate game room. So Turkman, I assume you spoke to Robo on how to get this sorted. I need to get the game in the right folder, and then we should be able to get this started for the viewers here in a few.
Absolutely. I'm just going through making sure all my settings are correct now, and then we'll be able to launch up and in a pretty good way, hopefully. We'll see how it goes and see if I don't drop again at the start. Because, you know, that's the goal here. If we don't drop at the start, I'm feeling okay.
Was that Aussie internet? Is that what it was? Or was it PC?
No, that was a Voobly crash, believe it or not. So not
happens.
Aussie internet behind that one. You would have lost me for much longer if that was the case.
All right, it happens. So when you put this recorded file in, make sure it's the Wololo Kingdoms patch 5.7.4, because if you put it in the normal Wololo Kingdoms, it will not be there.
I've absolutely done that. 1.5 alpha as well. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. Number AoE says, what is up with the fonts? If the fonts are different, that is kind of out of my control at this point. All of these features I downloaded them to my PC, and I spent a solid hour trying to get them to work, both the other day and today. And then when I got the features to work and the fonts and all that, then my microphone wasn't working. It was a real headache. So thank you for your patience. Not something I want to focus on now that everything's working.
All right. Whoop.
Do you, can we disconnect from this voice chat room and what if I call you on Discord? Your voice, I don't think it's bad, but you know how it is. Twitch chat is always right. So there's a little,
dude, absolutely.
There's just a little like robotiness to it occasionally. So we'll try just calling you on Discord, see if the connection's a little bit better. All right.
Go for it. Absolutely. Let's leave this one and kind of get our own separate thing going.
Cool. All right, 1 second. We'll get this squared away as well. Hello, hello? Can you... I can't hear you if you can hear me, Turkman.
I can hear you now. I couldn't
okay,
there at the
cool.
start. But I think we're okay now.
I think it's still good. I don't hear a difference, but we switched it up a little bit. Maybe we have a bunch of guys majoring in like audio out there. Who knows? So, are you
Look,
good
that
to
was
go?
my old career, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. You said that. You were in a like Turkman's in a band. He's really done some stuff.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Okay.
We'll
well,
see how that goes from here, though. Dun, 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 dun. Cool, cool. I should be just about there. That crash set me back a little bit.
It's cool, man. It happens. I'm ready to go when you are. And make sure you launch the game in single player mode, go into the save game, and then...
That's the plan. Let's see how we go here. Alright, we're launching up. If we don't get another crash, I'll be super happy. It looks like we should be okay in 1 sec.
So if you...
There we go.
If you were in a band, that means that you can say you're ready to rock for game 2, right?
Oh, always ready to rock when it's you here, mate. We are good.
So apparently, it has not worked on my end, so maybe I messed something up. 1 second.
No, look, that happens. That absolutely happens.
But don't worry, I'm ready to rock. I'm still
You're
ready to rock.
to rock?
Yes. Rock on, man. That's my favorite cheat. That's my favorite cheat. Build so many castles.
Dude, I love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm probably doing something wrong here. Oh no, it worked. Okay, so are you in the game and good to go?
I am in the game and good to go. As soon as you're ready to hit that, pause button, I guess is what will unpause it. I'm ready when you are.
I'm paused at 15, so you can go to that point, and then we can do a quick 3, 2, 1 countdown, and we can start game number 2 in the finals. It's best of 5 between Secret and Frantic.
No worries. You said paused at 15 seconds?
Yep.
Soon as you're ready, mate.
So we're going to count down. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then we're both at the same time going to say, we're ready to rock. 3.
Excellent. As long as we do this.
2, 1.
1.
We're ready to
rock. That went so bad.
That was really bad. We'll work on it, guys. Okay, this is just game 2.
We got plenty more games.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
get it.
Games.
We'll get it by the 5th game. I apologize. I'm gonna take the blame for that one. It could have been Aussie lag. You know, he's on the other side of the world. We'll find more excuses if we need them. But we have game number 2 between Secret and Frantic. And first thing I noticed as I'll introduce Secret is that Doubt is on the other side of the world here. He is Mayan's flank, and Viper is a long, long way away. Doubt's probably crying for Viper. That's probably exactly what he's saying. And Viper's Berber's pocket, which is good for him. And then we have Tata, who is close to Viper, and he's playing as the Saracens.
Awesome. For Frantic, we have Tim in the green as the Saracens. We have CL playing in the teal, light blue, whatever you want to call it, as the Mayans in our center here in our pocket. And then on the other flank, we have Vivi playing in the blue as the Franks. And kind of a little bit of reverse on what we had last map. Hey, we've kind of got Frantic in this corner. And then Secret having most of the map, I would say, kind of looking at it a little bit.
Yeah, big issue will be that Doubt is all out on his lonesome here. And Doubt is also Mayans, and he was lucky. He had the hacks enabled for the previous series, or he'd always get pocket. And getting Mayan's pocket is ideal, but he's Mayan's flank instead, and he has to walk a few miles to get to wood. So I think an open map for Doubt, very open map for Doubt. He's not close to Viper, so I think this puts pressure on those two especially.
I just did a quick kind of whip around Doubt space, and I just had the biggest lemon face kind of going on, all scrunched up looking at this. It's probably one of the most annoying maps I've seen in a long time. How far he had to move to wood there, you've already commented on that. How open it is, how far away from everyone. Oh, this is... If he can't kind of get an early, I guess, aggressive play going on here and make it kind of work for him, anything that comes in towards him in this stage is going to be an issue to deal with.
Yeah, on the bright side, it is Mayans versus Saracens. So it's not as if Mayans are bad on flanks. So I would actually give him the advantage when it comes to the civs in this matchup. But there are some pretty good maps for Frantic. Look at Vivi, for example. Vivi has a fantastic map. He can wall in the front, protect 2 stones in his gold. If there was a Tinder for Age of Empires 2 maps, I would be swiping right on this map right here. This is amazing for Vivi. And Vivi's going out to lame Tato, and he might find some success, as the boar's not far away.
All right, looking at these maps as well. CL, again, can absolutely put the walls up if he does want to, looking around the base overall.
Oh, yeah,
Tim
geez.
probably not so much, kind of looking at him. He's got kind of the same kind of open style as Doubt has there. Not as bad when it comes to his wood line, because it's just kind of on the right of his town center there. So nowhere near as bad, but still, you know, hopefully going to be able to see some aggressive plays against him. However, it looks like Vivi's boar actually walking all the way back right now.
Oh. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it, man. Frank's for Vivi, so probably a scout opening, then Knights later on. We know that CL is going to wall. Okay, it's minute 6. It's time to full wall. So he has already house walled the front, and now he'll build palisades. The one big weakness for his map is that gold, actually. He has stone, so he could always get to stone for the castle, but the gold is going to be hard to protect. What I expect here, Turkmen... Yeah, I mean, what I expect is what we'll probably see is Secret will have the early stage advantage because 3 of them will go for feudal age pressure. Viper will go for scouts, Doubt will go for archers, Tato will probably go for archers as well. And then it will just be scouts for Vivi and archers for Tim. But of course, CL will have to wait for Castle Age to join in on the fights.
And that said, though, if CL can make it to Castle Age and his team's in reasonably good shape, overall can basically, I wouldn't say steamroll with Mayans, but you can absolutely get in there and get some super cost-effective trades.
Yep.
And even then, the range kind of advantage you can have with all your upgrades and things along those lines. I think steamroll's not the best word for it, but you can get some awesome picks. You can really turn the tide quite quickly.
Vivi lost a villager, so a boar got a pick. A little bit of revenge, I guess, prior to the boar dying. He's like, "You're not gonna kill me without a fight." Tato, where you going,
There
buddy?
he is.
Wow, Tato fortunate not to lose his scout there. That's unfortunate for him. To lose that much scout HP early on means he won't have great scouting info, and of course he's already up against Franks, and Franks have more scout HP to begin with.
Oh man, he did his best there to kind of get away with it, but not really too much he can do in that case, I guess.
Yep. So
and Tato throwing up some walls as well, by the looks of it, just across there, and there's Doubts beginning too. So it looks like we will be seeing, again, another one of them secret walls.
Yep, secret walls going up. This time, the Chinese players are walling more. And oh, goodness, Tim, what are you doing? Tim is going for a drush against Doubt, who's going for a drush. And Tim, he gave Doubt so many free hits there, probably not expecting Doubt to be there. And so this is great for Doubt because remember, his map is not ideal, but as he walls it, it's getting better and he'll have the time.
Oh man, see that's the thing, this Drush right now, it's going to buy him that time, because that's what we're worried about, any kind of early aggression moving in, and that's where the damage was really going to happen. Once he's got these walls up, he's got time to play with, and that's exactly what he's buying here. This has been fantastic.
Yeah, great job from Doubt. Doubt is so good as Mayans. You rarely see him or his team lose when he gets Mayans. They did lose, actually, to AM when he had Mayans, so it is possible. It is possible.
We've got CL and we've got Vivi being super cute there with their own little team wall. That's really nice to see, guys. I mean, feel really bad for Tim being a little bit excluded there. But
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Tim and Doubt, they're like the black sheep of the family. Nobody really cares about Tim and Doubt, so they just do their own thing. I will say, great recovery here, though, from Tim. He, for the most part, has dealt with these militia. He needs to be careful because losing the scout would not be ideal, and boom, there he goes. He loses the scout, but at least it wasn't worse for him. He didn't lose any villagers there.
Yeah, actually produced an extra militia there as well to be able to deal with this one, so dealing with the problem quite well. Looks like we do still have a 2v1 situation going on, but that's really about it.
All right, I'm going to predict it. It's coming again. I think Tata will go with scouts, full stonewall, and sling. The sling seems to be the strategy for these secret players, and already I see the stone walls, and I'm thinking Tata will sling. Yep. Eventually.
Ooh, interesting call. I like it. It's obviously a really good strategy if we can kind of see it kind of come up here and really do some damage. I guess, do you think it's going to be a sling to one player or sling to two? Because obviously you've got the Doubt, like the Doubt himself, and then the Viper himself as well. Do you think it's going to be a split sling between the two, or do you think he's really going to try and power someone up?
Well, it's going to be initially the Viper. If Doubt needs anything later on, then maybe. But I think Viper will know if Viper has if he starts mixing in more stables. The sling won't happen now. It'll probably happen within a few minutes. What is Tim? What on earth is Tim, bro? This is
Is he
crazy.
producing more militia?
Yeah. Not just 3 more.
He's going forward with a couple of villages, though.
He's going with 4 more, and he wants to tower rush Doubt.
Look, that sounds like Tim. Stubborn towers.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any walls yet. If we get walls, I'd say it's basically a full Tim play.
Yeah, it's really not a bad idea in a 1v1 because you want to keep Mayans off their plumed archers, and Doubt's already on stone, so this will at least force Doubt into a few defensive towers. But in a team game, we've seen so many times today that sending villagers forward means you're soon going to have dead villagers because of the enemy scouts, but we'll find out soon enough, and Tim is trying to break through this palisade gate.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, you've got Tato sitting on some scouts here. Obviously, you've got Vivi kind of keeping him a little bit entertained here, but the moment he backs off, like he's kind of doing now, Tato's got walls. He doesn't need to keep these guys at home. He can just go and help Doubt clean this one up.
Yeah. Now, it's possible that Vivi is invested too much into attack with too little reward. It's possible that now Tim is investing too much into attack with too little reward. Doubt builds a few stone walls, and he will be safe from this. He might lose out on a few farms, but he'll have his castle in the next stage.
I'm looking at this now, and obviously we've got CL most of the way up towards Castle Age. He's going to have his stone there, so he's going to be able to get that castle up.
Yep.
Honestly, as nice as it would be to see another kind of ballsy forward castle drop like we saw last one that basically split Secret in half, I think he's probably going to play this one a little safer. I mean, what's the chances of lightning striking twice, hey?
Yeah, that's not going to be the play here. They do not have the map control to go for that type of strategy. Yeah, Tato's sending resources to Viper. So Tato is slinging Viper. So scouts into stone walls in his sling, and Viper, who's on his way to castle now, will probably be 3 stables when he gets there, and Tato will have a whole mess of knights.
Ooh, that's just going to be brutal against this. We've got Tim doing his best to kind of push in here with a couple of towers. Doubt obviously walled up quite well towards his town center here, so going to make things a little bit more of an issue, which is kind of nice. He's playing it really defensively with the units he's got, and honestly doing a great job with it. Tower on his stone/gold defensively straight away. Couple up defensively around the town center as well. So looking pretty strong here, and he's going to at least buy the time.
Yeah, what's real interesting is there's a gap between Viper and Doubt. Doubt's been trying to wall that up. So Vivi got in. He harassed Doubt a little bit. And they've done a good job as a team, Frantic, to force Doubt into stone walls and to towers, because then Doubt's plumed archers will be much later. So let's see. It will be just 2 stables, actually, from the Viper. But he'll have a whole bunch of resources coming in from Tato. And you can hear the noise now, those watching at home, of those resources coming in.
There we go. CL has got his castle up on the front there. Defensively, like we really thought would happen. But then again, I guess last game we could have thought that as well. But hey, it's what happened. But going to be able to get that one out. The Plumed Archer production has started. Going to be a little bit earlier than Doubt, of course, thanks to this one here. And of course, the fact he was playing in the pocket. But of course, like you did say, we've got Viper going in on those stables. Those Knights, we know Knights, they are a powerhouse unit. These are the kind of units you steamroll with.
Yeah, and Viper's not the kind of player, in fact, no players at this level would do this, who would simply go for Knight production. He adds town centers as well. So the initial threat will be really strong because Viper will be on 3 TCs and making Knights, but then it'll get even stronger as he's receiving the resources from Tato. So they're realizing now apparently multi-queue wasn't enabled. This is interesting. And so I guess at this point they had saved, and we're going to restore this, and that's why this game is split into 2 parts. That makes sense. So Viper's like, I have 2 stables. It's not multi-queue. But we must continue, which is funny, but it's also the tournament rules. So they probably forgot to select multi-queue. It was not intentional, and we will go into that now. So I think what we can do is just load up the second part to that recorded game, just like we did earlier on in the day.
And then I think we have another opportunity here.
Yes. Yes.
It's not even another game.
Yes. All right. So who would have thought? We have an opportunity to redeem ourselves. So let's do the 3, 2, 1. You ready?
Are we doing let's rock and roll or just rock and roll? Like, let's get that kind of started at this front as well.
I was gonna do we're ready to rock, but we can switch it up if you want.
Look, we had enough trouble the first time. Let's keep it the way it is. So we're ready to rock.
Yeah. So 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
We're ready to rock. Yes, that was better. We're improving. We're improving,
Well, that's
man.
all that matters.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it. Was
it.
close.
We've got more games here.
Yeah, maybe if there's another drop, we'll get there and we'll find
Another
out
3,
soon
4
enough.
drops. That's a real anticipation right now. When do we sync up enough to get this? Secret, Frantic, Finals, who cares?
Yeah. So those watching here, these games were played, well, they're essentially live because no one has ever seen these recorded games before. And the reason that we're doing Rex is because we have potentially 17 games just today. And if we were to do that live, it'd be a 24-hour stream. And I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. CL...
And, yeah, we just had to restore a game.
Yeah.
That takes time.
It
If
takes
you've got, like,
15 minutes in
jump
between games. It's too much, yeah. So CL arrives with the plumed archers right at Tato's gold, which Tato needs to sling, of course. And Tato's built a tower there. But Tato has not responded to this, which is really surprising. He loses 3 villagers, 4 villagers. And those are 4 villagers that can't send Viper resources now.
Whoa, that's rough. Viper has just got into Tim's base, so Tim trying to stonewall off as much as he can. But here are the Knights. They're in there just disrupting, causing as much damage as we can. But finding the wood in the back there. Ugh. This is rough.
What is this base? I'm sorry to laugh at a pro player, but what is this base? Tim, look at these walls, man. Oh no, he's building a diagonal gate. He needs to build the... Okay, so... I think the gate will hold now because he placed palisades on the edges of the diagonal gate, so that's good. But not good for him that he has no support yet. A Viper, with receiving full sling, has tons and tons of knights here.
Ooh, we've got Vivi moving out with a couple of Knights. We've got CL in the middle of the map there, or I guess more towards Doubt and Viper at the moment with a couple of plumes. So looking to do what he can here, but Tato doing basically what Tato does best in this situation. Hanging out, slinging. We've got a couple of camels on the way by Viper as well, actually, so he's going to be able to deal with these units quite effectively. And man, at the moment, all I can say is Tim must be trying to tell us something. I've got to pee. That's about it.
You gotta... Yeah.
I gotta pee.
Exactly, yeah, maybe he'll write some more messages for us. Tim's gonna sling as well. Look at these walls, man. Tim's gonna sling as well. It's just that Tato has been slinging longer, and Tato's resources are set up to sling someone who's making knights, whereas Tim is now sending resources to CL, but he might not be sending the right resources. So I think it's a good decision, because Tim, there's no way he can contribute now, so just send resources if you're him. But will it be enough? Because Viper has 15 knights on the field.
Man, that happens so quickly. It's absolutely ridiculous to think about. We do have the castle up from Doubt as well, so he's in a good situation there. Going to be able to start that plumed archer production. And comparing Tato here and Tim, that's really going to be the big thing in terms of the sling. I can fit all of Tim's base, all of his economy, basically in a single screen right now.
Yeah, and the team walls are now completed for Secret, so they're fully walled. So as the game goes on, they'll probably be pressuring the center where there's all this extra gold, but if they need trade, of course, they have the corners. I'm not liking my position if I'm Frantic. Missed opportunity to say that they're looking pretty frantic, but I'll save that for later.
Oh, mate, this is the best of 5. You got time.
Yeah, we got time to get that right.
What are we looking here?
It's gotta be CL now. It's gotta be CL, because he has enough stone for a second castle. It's gotta be all him. It's Viper versus CL, with the production of the resources, or the units they're getting after the res from the sling. And don't forget about Vivi, of course. Vivi, he needs knights to help CL, as Viper has so many numbers.
Vivi's actually even pushed out into the center already as well. He's got a town center up. He's taking some gold from there. So it looks like he's trying to kind of cement a position there. Interesting that he went out straight in front of Tato, though. He didn't push out in front of himself.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you would think that he could have TC'd there. Perhaps went for the more bold TC, so he could take that away from Tato. A Viper receiving full sling, clicks up to the Imperial Age. It is so easy to play when you're as good as Viper, and then you have the sling. I mean, goodness gracious. You have all that skill and extra resources, it's almost like using a cheat code.
That's it, man. It's just such an... I don't want to say it's an easy game for him, but look at him. He's taking down that TC with knights.
Yeah.
He's not even imp. He's got the armor, he's got the upgrades, he's got what he needs to just push Vivi right back across the map.
Yeah. And great job from Doubt to arrive. Oh, I like this. He's distracting the plumes from CL, runs in with another group. Both slingers have exposed golds, which is as fair as it gets, I guess. And those golds can be hit by plumes. But Tatos is now secured because Viper has full control of the map. And I really fear for Frantic here. I think that with Viper on the way to Imp, they need a little bit more. They need a fight, and maybe this is it from Vivi. Yeah, Viper just leaves.
Man, it's just rough looking at this. We've got the extra stables coming down closer to the center for Viper. Another town center on top of that. I did see Viper signaling they want to start trade very, very soon as well. This forward castle from CL, though, looking quite good, defending roughly 2 golds there overall. Gonna see the extra town center get dropped down there as well.
Oh.
So we'll be able to cement a little bit in the middle.
Sorry, the petards! Let's go! We got some petards. Those guys wanted to join the main fight. I can guarantee it. They're like, we can do it. But I think this firepower is going to be used on Tato's walls, believe it or not. That would be cool to see. But I don't know if they can win the fight if they get in there, as Viper is going to have so much.
That's the thing, is production is going to be so high behind this as well. Extra castle going up in the center for Viper here as well. Now, he's really kind of starting to solidify this position. Another 2 stables coming down. He wants this.
Oh, the timing, though, is quite good. This is right when Viper hits in. Viper didn't have any Imperial Age upgrades in that fight. The castle's denied. Vivi looped around with a few extra knights. And all of a sudden, Viper looks like he might be overwhelmed a bit. CL and Vivi are on the way to the Imperial Age for the Frantic team. So there's definitely a shot for them.
This is that teamwork we've been talking about all game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can have one superstar player, even one strong player that's receiving Sling. End of the day, if you've got 2 players that have kind of made it on their own like this, they're in a good spot to be able to push that one position back.
Tato sees the petards. He sees the petards. He's trying to wall behind this. And now the gate goes down. Can the plumes get in? Yep, the plumes are going to be blocked out for now. 200 HP walls here. Tato's losing so much. Does CL want to commit because Viper will just come behind? I think you have to run here. I don't think you can go in. I don't think you can go in. It's too risky to run inside if you're Frantic. I think we'll go for it.
We've got Vivi really going for it here, but there's Cavalier. We've got the extra armor upgrade on these guys right now. They can start to chase him down, getting as many kills against Tato as he can, but the walls come up.
Yeah. I like the fact that Vivi went in. That's cool. I like the fact that Vivi went in. What I don't like is that all of the plumed archers for CL are getting chewed up. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them, even running by Viper's castle, which he has finished now. And this swings right back into Secret's favor.
Man, he's starting that trebuchet construction at the moment as well, so going to be able to go to war with those castles of CL without too much of a struggle. Those Cavalier at this point going to be soaking up so many arrows, and you got a great surround on a couple of those plumed archers as they run out.
Ooh, that was pro move there from CL to build that house to protect his plumes. That was a pro move.
I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, he's still screwed here, but it was cool, and he gets style points at least, as he needs to run all the way back to this castle and wait for upgrades, and he needs to wait for Vivi. And Vivi, he's an imp. And Vivi needs Cavalier, and that's now on the way.
What have we got? Castle's slowly getting taken down there. Second trebuchet out for Viper as well. A couple of knights did end up behind Viper, behind Tato, but it looks like they're going to get cleaned up by this Cavalier quite quickly, getting their way into Viper's base. Hopefully going to be able to sacrifice themselves for something noble here, but I don't think we're really going to see it happen.
Well, that was a misplay from Viper. Didn't patrol there. Lost 3 Cavalier for free as he runs towards Vivi's gold. There's just so many good things going for Secret at the moment. They have 2 people that will be an imp soon. Viper has received full sling all game. He's at 180 pop. Just that as a team, they're not quite there yet because Doubt doesn't have his upgrades. These are some good fights now for Frantic. They're losing map in the center, but that's not a bad fight versus Viper's Cavalier.
Only thing I'm worried about with CL's forward castles there that he might kind of start to lose him, and of course we'll have to get more production out of it. That's probably the thing I'm most worried about with these trebuchets on play for Viper, and the fact they don't really have the forces to push into it. That said, though, we do have Vivi up in a Cavalier now. Looks like he's going to take this fight versus Viper, and they might just have the numbers. Yep.
So this is another fight that goes well for Frantic. And I keep watching the populations. Vivi's population is still pretty low. Doubt and Viper have 115 villagers on top of the sling. So it's still a rough situation for them, but...
Oh! Vivi's overchopped, and Viper is in with a couple of Cavalier, getting sneaky.
Oh, that hurts so much. That hurts so much. He's already at 70 vills.
That single tree, man. I was watching that happen. I was like, oh, I don't think there's anything there. He's got walls up. And just like that, look at the numbers plummet.
He's got to work on his lumber micro, man. I can recommend a certain map for him. But we won't get to that, okay? This is the Escape Champions League. I think Vivi's castle is going to go down. And that castle would only offer a little bit of protection anyway.
That's not even up in play yet. There's already 3 trebuchets on it, and I don't think, again, they have the numbers to push into it. They've got Castle of Doubt behind it. We've got Viper's Cavalier sitting there ready to go, and Doubt as well. This has been some good team efforts from both players. I mean, in fact, both teams. They're all in the right positions here. It's just... Frantic just don't have the numbers to engage this. Tattoo up to Castle. There we go. My man in the fight.
He's going to trade Boom now. He's going to trade. Could join the fight, but I think... See, only 58 vills. He'll add TCs. Yep. So he's Castle Ajico now, and he'll work on adding more and more economy. You know, say what you want about the position that Frantic is in, as they take a huge fight. It shows just how stubborn they can be, man. They haven't rolled over yet.
Ooh, Viper getting game, putting a castle up there as well. Obviously, if it does come up, or if it does draw some fire here, it's really going to help out. Yep. Obviously, having the hill really going to help Frantic out here. But we've got Doubt behind it, a whole heap of plumes, and it looks like even using the trebuchets to take out that castle while they've got the chance. Vivi moving around the back of the castle, going to try and get the trebuchets now as well.
Yeah, Viper and Doubt just have too many numbers. Too many numbers. Viper has the trebs. He'll pack them up. He'll unpack them, and he will take out these castles at this rate. Vivi, he is getting Paladin, so perhaps that's their only hope now. Of course, Berbers, they have very cheap Cavalier and Camels, but they don't get Paladin. But still, Vivi, he'll lose more villagers. He doesn't have the numbers of Viper. In fact, Viper has triple the numbers. And this is looking worse and worse for Frantic.
The Doubt and Viper, they're just at such a high pop right now. I mean, you've got Tim at 67. He's been there nearly all game. You've got Tato down about there as well. So really kind of even out overall. But I would say kind of what Tato achieved in the early game, setting himself up for giving that sling, kind of put him in a better position overall. And I did actually see some tributes go to Tim before, actually, as well. And looks like he's tributing back. This is... I'm not sure if they just don't 100% have a plan here. But that's interesting.
It's... At this stage... It's almost impossible. Right? You're totally unraveled. You're behind by tons of numbers. You don't have map control. There is not a single stat that Frantic has in their favor. Unless you're counting castles lost as a stat. Then, yeah, they have that in their favor.
Brutal. We do have Paladin on the way from Vivi, though, and he's got a lot of numbers. So potentially could swing a little bit of a difference there. Help him out with the numbers situation, but... End of the day, if we have a look at the front of his base, he's just kind of getting butchered on the stables.
Yeah, getting butchered. He needs his castles for plumes. One has gone down. He'll lose this one now. Vivi is coming to save the day, just as Paladin will complete. But will it be too late? Viper is actually packing up the trebs. I think he's going to maneuver here. This is a wise move from Viper, because he sees the Paladins are incoming. Oh, my bad. He's actually packing them up.
CL as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's going to try and get a little bit of bulk out there to help deal with those, I guess not deal with, but soak up some of the damage those plumed archers are dealing out. But again, numbers here. Look at how many plumed archers Doubt's just got in the position. They're not even all grouped up.
Yeah. I think that the trebs will get taken down. I think that Doubt and Viper will regroup here. But the fact that they took out that castle, the fact that they have so much map control and so much population, is still a very, very good sign for them. And as I say that, Doubt comes in with a mess of plumed archers. And they might just continue to push forward here.
Looks like they're going to lose the trebs, but end of the day, that was a massive engagement. They got rid of most of the paladins kind of in play here. Even then, we've got Viper on the gold of Vivi as well. This just, I don't even know where Vivi's getting his gold from now.
Yeah, it's probably from Tim, who has not wrote... You know what? This isn't a P, this is an F. F for Frantic, and F to pay respects.
F for Frantic?
Yeah, F for Frantic and F to pay respects. That's what that is.
I've print screened it. I'm going to send it to him for a logo.
Yeah, well, anyway, game is over there, and it is all tied up now. Secret ties it up in the finals, and we will have Game 3 coming up next. Apparently, the new strategy is have Tato full wall and sling, because this is the second time we've seen it on this map. Viper will choose Berbers for it. They sling him full Cavalier, and that's all she wrote. They've done that
Look,
twice
it
now.
worked.
Yeah.
It worked really, really well. So, end of the day, if it's going to work, I guess that's kind of what we do. Hey.
Well, Sling has always been strong in Age of Empires 2. In fact, in this tournament, for those wondering, it's actually been nerfed, so it's more expensive to Sling, or at least whatever you're sending a little bit less than what you typically would. But still, it's proving to be a strong strategy, and I think the weak link in this game was Tim. I don't know what Tim was doing, thinking of going for towers in a team game like that. He could have gone for something very similar to Tato, where he went man-at-arms into full wall into Sling, but instead he used a lot of resources forward. He lost a lot forward, and that did not help him at all.
And even then, his trading was just inefficient overall as well. Like, he produced so many militia just to deal with that 3 that we kind of had from him out there. And then to kind of push it forward a little bit as well and build a couple of extra militia and try and push forward with that tower rush. Like you said, it's a good in 1v1. If you can delay those plumes coming out, that's absolutely great. When you've got 2 players in scouts, however, the Viper and Tato, they can just kind of come across and clean that up as soon as they're ready.
Indeed, man. So, game number 3 will be Serengeti. So, okay, chat's going to hate me for this, but I can't help it. We'll see who can Serengeti the next victory.
Oh, snap, boy, look at that.
Yeah, that was cringe. I even cringed, but I can't help it.
I'll support you, man. Whatever you decide to go for, we got this.
Well, it's good. This is why we got Turkmen. This is why we got Turkmen for the finals. We got Turkmen in here for the finals, so he'd support me. That's the only reason.
That's a pied whore, you know? I'm here to just get stuff done, make you look great, and just be like, what you talk about, chat? He nailed that. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, I even had my hand up like that, waving at him. It was great. I wish I had a camera on for that.
I cast with Dave.
No, you didn't.
I cast with Dave so often now. It's nice to cast with someone who doesn't make fun of my jokes, you know? It's nice.
Oh, dude. It's one of those things. If it's going to happen, I prefer just to lean into the curve and just like watch the whole thing spin out together as a team. I love it.
All right, well, we will get into game 3 soon. I'm sorry, chat. I mean, Gorge is going to happen for game 4, so I have quite a few Gorge puns too, but I'll try and stop. I'll try and stop myself.
I just have this image of you having this like big sheet of like A4 paper tattooed just to the wall next to you. Just like written on it, and you've just got like just thing after thing there.
Age of Empires puns. I have a whole booklet right next to me, guys.
The real strategy booklet.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to game number 3. This is game number 3 between Frantic and Secret. It is all tied up 1-1 now, and as you can see here, we have Serengeti. Serengeti is yet another open map. It's a map which promotes high aggression, and we have 2 of the very best teams in the world here. I'll start it off for the Frantic players. We have CL in the teal. He's playing as the Berbers. Then the pocket is Tim. Tim is playing as the Byzantines. And then in the blue, we have Vivi, a.k.a. Fat Dragon, a.k.a. Really Diao, and he is playing as the Indians.
For Secret, we have Doubt playing in the purple as the Indians. We have Tato in the red as the Byzantines, and then over in his trademark yellow, we have the Viper playing as the Malians.
Interesting that Tato's pocket now, because for a lot of the games today, Tato was flank, he would go aggressive, he would fall back and sling. This time he's pocket, and I'm not saying that Tato doesn't have the skill to be pocket, but I think that as a team, they would probably prefer to have either Viper or Doubt. So in terms of player positions, this is probably the worst position you could find for the Secret players.
That said, though, I am really looking forward to Tato kind of showing in the series as well what he's kind of made of, and I think this is a great opportunity for him, because obviously everyone knows in 1v1 team game, he's a phenomenal level player, but for him to kind of showing this after kind of doing 2 sling strategies, if he kind of powerhouses this one, I'd be really happy to see that, in all honesty. Yeah,
he's a good player, of course. He's capable of doing it. I think what will be fun to look at is the civilizations that are pocket, both Byzantines. So Byzantines would probably be the ideal flank for both teams, as they would go archers, and then they could go for a faster Imperial, which we saw in the previous Serengeti games in this event. So a lot to look at, a lot to talk about. We have Berbers versus Malians, so Viper will be facing off against CL. Probably the 2 MVPs for each team will be fighting each other on this flank. And then we have Indians for Doubt, which can be awkward on the flank, up against, I'm sorry, that's Sal. Up against Indians for Vivi, so it's Indians for both there, which will be even.
Well, I guess this is going to be a really good test of skill pretty much in general for this game, because like you said, we've got pretty much the exact players facing off against each other. As nice as it is to see a Viper Tim Grud match, it's always nice to see kind of CL, because he's been absolutely not carrying, but he has been an absolute all-star for Frantic over pretty much the entire series. So to see him go kind of head-to-head with Viper, that's going to be really nice. Then we've got kind of a balanced war up the top between the two Indian players. And then we've kind of got Tim, who's been known for a long time for his walls and kind of boom strategy up against Tato, who in this situation most likely going to get some kind of boom going on, or at least some really strong pocket play. So it'll be nice to kind of see what everyone's capable of bringing to the table.
So in the 2v2 section of this tournament, was it you and me casting? Was it, I think, Frantic versus SY? That was you and I, right?
Yes.
That was...
Dude, we did like 12 hours that day.
yeah, that was an incredible set of games. And for those that didn't see it, there was some aggressive plays from CL and Tim. And CL and Tim, they outclassed SY. And funny, Frantic actually beat SY as well in their 3-1 victory in the semis. But my point is that these Frantic players are very experienced on a map like this. They know how to get impressive victories. There was also... You know what? It was Aftermath they beat. It was Frantic and Aftermath. That's who it was. Regardless.
There we go.
Regardless, we casted so many games that day, man. They all get confused.
It's blurred into one at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a barracks down for Viper, so trying to get some militia out onto the field here overall. What have we got from CL? CL going for those trademark walls pretty much straight up. And no barracks from him, though. So it looks like Viper kind of... I would say pretty much everyone at the moment knows CL does walls, right? Everyone knows he starts around that 6 to 7 minute mark, and then he's walled from there. So whether or not Viper's getting those militia out to try and delay that, I guess is probably the question here.
Viper does this a lot nowadays. This will be... Yeah, another Josh from the Viper. Why is Viper good? Well, it's because of his micro and because of his well, overall skill. But the big thing is that it's his economy. Again, you never see Viper, you rarely see Viper go forward. You rarely see Viper YOLO like other players do. And that's because he goes for the safer approach, the wiser approach, and that's all based on economy. And this Drush will give him that time to use more economy as he collects these ostriches freely, collects these zebras freely. And I guess it'll be an Archer follow-up. I would imagine he wouldn't go with anything other than that.
Man, he has committed. Hey, he's even got the second mill down.
Yep, second mill. Oh, he's Malians, dude. He's Malians, so everything's cheaper, so it's fantastic bonus.
Yep. Just worth it.
The Drush will not do much for him, though, because CL has already... Yep, he's already footwalled his base. This zebra's trying to escape. Sorry, buddy, not today. Your people
That's
food
not how
now.
CL plays this game. No one escapes CL's walls.
Just a side point before the fighting starts. If you watch the Lions run in Age of Empires, they look so happy. You look at these zebras run, they kind of look like either really upset or scared or like constipated. Do you guys notice that? It's like they have no flexibility.
I'm gonna have a word with the team.
Yeah, we got to get that.
We need happy zebras.
We need happy zebras, not constipated zebras. Goodness.
Somebody please make a mod where it's just a big smiley face.
That could work. Well, there he goes. I mean,
So
I don't know if I would want to eat a constipated zebra, but that's what CL's going in for. And I guess though the food might taste a little bit weird, he's gonna make use of it. Anyway, that's the end of that. We should probably talk about the strategies. In the north, we have scouts for Vivi, and we have scouts for Delt. So that's the 1v1 there. And then we saw the Drush from Viper, and his versus scouts from CL. And Viper, he will go for an Archer follow-up to this. He's just not in feudal age yet.
Let's see. So obviously those militia really haven't been able to do too much here. CL Scout's pretty much going to be the go at the moment. Obviously he's got the stable out. There's the production kind of starting. Viper, it looks like he has dealt with all the ostriches on the front though, so it looks like he's not going to be able to be caught too out of position here. He's got a couple of little walls up. Kind of the way Viper, like you said, with his economy, it's the same kind of deal. He just builds effectively. And that's really what he's done here. He's got all of his economy set up towards the back. He's got that one little wall off between the mill. Like, it just looks strong overall. And then we've got a couple of scouts moving in against Doubt, but Doubt can have pretty much equal numbers here. So he's really going to be able to push those away quite quickly.
A bit of a 1v1 in the north between Vivi and Doubt. Those guys play each other an awful lot. They know how it goes. And Tato has gone scouts from pocket, and he's here. Did Viper just delete? Viper got housed, and he deleted 2 of his militia.
I saw it happen.
He's like,
Look, the man's about that efficiency. Ain't nothing getting in the way.
that's hilarious. He was, screw you guys. You couldn't do anything for me. This is the one I liked. That's funny. Well, it's smart, you know. He would prefer villagers here. And he will go rush fast castle while Tato helps him with scouts. So Tato's actually on somewhat equal numbers to CL, who's on the opposing team closing into Viper.
That's really interesting, actually, seeing it happen on the flank, basically. Because
Yeah.
we've seen, obviously, the archery go down, second archery coming up now, blacksmith as well. And then Tato's kind of moved in from the pocket. He's going to kind of sit here and defend Viper while Viper gets up.
Yep.
Tim going up as well. So who have we got in terms of Byzantine versus Malian?
Yeah, and
That looks like it's
Tim
gonna be our
will
Castle Age
be
civs.
Tim will go for ranges too, which not a fan of actually. Not a fan. I know that Byzantines don't get bloodlines, but they still get camels and knights. They still get paladin in late game. And the big issue is that archers are extremely slow to cross the map. And this could be a huge concern for Tim.
True, because I guess if you got Viper here straight away going archers, how fast you can kind of push in against CL, I guess
Yeah.
that's going to be the thing. And I guess CL with his walls, he hasn't left himself a lot of room to move as well. If you check out where they are, that's all pretty close to Eco. There's not really too much he can wall up behind this.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Well, players have secured themselves for the most part. So now I'd like to just appreciate how complicated and interesting Vivi's walls are. If we look at this, Doubt's trying to plug the gap there. Look at Vivi's walls for a second. It's like, is it shaped like a fish? I don't even know what this is. That's interesting set of walls, but it does secure a lot of wood lines and gold. So if it does the job, it does the job.
I'm definitely looking for the second one of the secret code here. I definitely can't see another letter. That would have been really nice.
Yes,
But
indeed. Yes.
Basically,
Yeah. I need to protect
Oh,
themselves
man.
in early game, but walls will not protect them against the archers that Viper has, and Viper's getting crossbow now. And what CL needs is some help. He needs some help from Tim. The other militia getting some scouting info. Well done, Viper. He doesn't want to send the scout forward because it's on low HP. Does Viper know? Yeah, Viper's not aware of what Tim is going for. I find this to be a questionable move, Tarkman. I really do. It could pay off, but I think that the flanks for Frantic are going to get hit 2v1 a lot because Tim has no mobility.
well, that's it. It's what you were saying earlier. Like, the archers, they're strong units, but they don't have the same kind of mobility as anything like a camel, as a knight. Obviously, like you were saying earlier as well, they don't get bloodlines, but that mobility may have been worth the trade-off to be able to defend both your allies quite quickly, get across, and make sure that 2v1 scenario doesn't happen too often, or at least for too long.
Yeah. Well, Viper looping around. He knows the wood, golden stone is here. And I think we need another tower from CL, or CL needs another tower. One villager
Alright,
down
let's have
for
a count.
him. This is just not great.
He's gonna get away. He's only gonna lose one there, but
Yeah.
end of the day, that's his only wood line.
Yeah, he needs to tower right on the left here next to this rock. That way he can range both areas of the wood line. Actually, he towers in his farms because Viper's considering running in. All right.
There you go. So we've got a tower up on the farms. We've got one up behind the gold as well. So he's got quite a few towers here. He kind of just can't sit under them, which is nice. But again, if he sits up towards that rock, like you were saying, he can just fire down on that wood line again.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head here. I don't understand it. Look at this. Tim arrives with his crossbows, but Doubt will be in Castle Age with Indian camels, and he can just kill them. And then Tato's making knights, Tato's making camels, and he has so much mobility, he can arrive to help Viper immediately. This is such a big advantage for Secret. I cannot stress enough how weird that crossbow from pocket decision is.
And it's going to cost him. That's the thing, like you were saying. Tato's already like halfway across the map with
Yeah,
these knights.
exactly.
You've got Doubt up in the top, who's got these mobile scouts, and you've got Tato over there as well, helping Doubt out. So between them, they're going to have the numbers to fend this off, and those crossbows, like, they're not going to really be able to do too much here. You've got the double stable, and like you said, we're going to start seeing those Indian camels, and then where do you go from there?
Yeah, and CL's already so far behind because Viper's been on him, and he has walled himself into this small little area. This is a great sign if you're a Secret fan. This is a fantastic sign in Game 3. Like, this is... It honestly, it tilts me a little bit because I hold such high standards for these players, you know? And it's just one decision from Tim, and I'm like, why, Tim, why? But I think that with the secret players fully comfortable, and when Viper and Tato going to run in, yeah, this is so good for them.
That one night, just taking all the heat. Those crossbows managing to walk through pretty much untouched.
Yep.
Now there's crossbows in his base. This is the thing. They may not be like, he has no way to deal with them. That's really the thing here. They're in the base. He may not be doing too much with them, but they're there. They can just appear and kill a villager or two and run away. And that's what they're doing. They're kind of distracting the farmers. It's just good, man. It's just good play.
Really good play. Doubt killing Vivi's camels on the other side. He does need to go back now. Vivi has really been the strongest player in this game. It's not CL's fault that Viper's on him right now, 2v1. It's really Tim's fault because Tim isn't here to help. The only thing is if Tim clicks up to Imp soon, which it doesn't look like he's close to, then maybe with the faster Imperial with Byzantines, this can be good for his team. But otherwise, the secret players have a free boom. They have amazing map control, and I think that I'd be worried if I'm Frantic.
When we look at the stats behind the economy as well, you've got all of Secret sitting on 3 town centers. You've got Vivi on 2. I think I saw Tim on 3. And Sale's only just hit the castle age. And he's putting a siege workshop up. So he needs, well, he can't put up extra town centers. He has to deal with this issue.
Exactly.
And siege workshop's obviously going to be the easiest way to do that. If he can do it. But at the same time, right now, the economy is just going to kind of start to spiral out of control towards Secret until they manage to get up to the same numbers.
Well, I think the wise decision would be to avoid going to Viper and Tato, because Tim would not have the numbers there. So hopefully Doubt will be exposed, and that's exactly where he's going. Tim and Vivi, they do have more villagers than any of the secret players, but it's slight. There's an opportunity for them here. And there's crossbows and camels from Vivi and Tim, and they're working towards Doubt, but Doubt already has secured his base with TCs, and he signals it. Or sorry, that was actually Tim who signaled it, but Tato could of course arrive and come from behind to accompany Doubt if need be. Let's see if the Fat Dragon can carry this. Let's see if Tim can prove us wrong here. They probably should not run underneath this town center. Okay, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Whoa! Crossbows! Tim needs to back up here. Oh, man. Yo, Tim on the front of Doubt's gold, though, Turkman. Are you there, by the way? You good? I think Turkman he's been baffled by the crossbows arriving to Doubt's gold. So he's dropped off. He'll be back. F's in the chat for him. That engagement was kind of weird. Like, Tim could have kept his crossbows alive a bit longer. But at least he hit Doubt's gold there. And that gives Doubt 50 villagers while Vivi's on 66. So Frantic do have the boom lead. And CL, who's the only one really behind, he's adding TCs luckily. And he has a few knights. And he gets the Viper! You know, if Secret lose this game, I'd be quite surprised. I thought they were in a very dominant position. The Viper now can't find an area to hit with his crossbows. Oh, I heard a breath. Are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I have no idea what happened. Nothing dropped. It looks like Discord dropped us. So
all right.
No idea there. But overall, yeah. What did I miss? Like, bring me up.
Yeah. I mean, a huge fight now at Doubt's base. Tim, again, he really is lacking numbers. And he can't get reinforcements in like you could with knights. So Tato will clean up those crossbows. Tato.
Stand ground by the looks of it.
Tato wasn't on attack stance. So now he'll clean up those numbers. And
I guess there's no real bigger sign of confidence, hey, than a couple of knights just hanging out getting a shot.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we missed a lot of pressure at Doubt's base, basically. And I think that Vivi, with 77 vills, could actually steamroll this side. Because he has a 25 villager lead over Doubt. And Tato, though, clicks up to the Imperial Age's Byzantines. And maybe he can help Doubt out. He will need to help Doubt out, that's for sure.
Right, so really what we're saying is Vivi's kind of in a dominant position here versus Doubt. Tato versus Tim. Tato's definitely in front overall, obviously going up to Imp. He's got a lot more mobile army there, so he's in a good place. CL versus Viper. I guess Viper's got a lot of crossbows out on the field, but they're not at home, and we are seeing a little bit of a push here from CL. Yeah,
CL being annoying, keeping Viper off that stone and gold, killing a few villagers here. This Maganel has ventured a little bit too far, but he'll back up. And Viper will he kind of needs some support from Tato. But Doubt needs support from Tato, and I can't believe this. It's actually working for Frantic. Tim has just had a crazy boom behind this, as has Vivi, and 1-for-1 with the Mangonels there. I suddenly am liking Frantic's position an awful lot.
Depending on how Dim, there we go, how Tim deals with this crossbow situation,
Yeah.
that's probably going to be my situation, because that's a lot of crossbows from Viper. He's got nothing really at home to deal with this. He's already lost 4 villagers, and if he can get through these walls and kind of do some chunky, beefy damage, it could kind of bring it back a little bit
damage.
even. That's it, man. It's just like soup. You know?
Chunky, beefy damage. Can we get that chunky, beefy damage in a can? Or is it in a bag?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's how it comes. This is gonna be my thing after this. It's gonna be a secret chunky beefy.
Alright, well, Viper sees the Mangonels on the way. He doesn't want to overinvest into attack here. And Viper tries to duck underneath the Mangonel shot. He will take 2 huge shots! My god, that is some chunky, beefy damage. And it is on sale today, my friends. It is on sale today.
Hot. Right
Check
there.
it out in the Frantic store. That is unlike Viper to take those losses, and will he take another hit? Viper?
Oh!
Chunky beefy damage! Order me up another one. Oh, okay. Wow, that is quite a throw from the Viper. I truly can't believe it, but the more important thing is that Tato's pushing back on the other side. And we have just a lot going on here.
I cannot believe.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I saw there. That got cleaned up so quickly and so effectively. A lot of knights out from CL, backed up by a Mangonel, a couple of monks out in play there as well. And looks like Tato is going to ignore that town center from CL. I guess he doesn't have the forces to engage there anyway.
Instantly, everyone's like, Chinese lag. I hate it. Like, Viper's already so good. You have to at least acknowledge that he's human when he makes a mistake. Don't start making excuses for the guy. People are like, oh, Chinese lag. Doubt must have been playing for Viper. Oh man, that was chunky and that was beefy, man. And we're gonna have a real chunky, beefy attack at Doubt Space soon, because Vivi and Tim will be in the Imperial Age in a bit. There's a forward castle from Vivi.
We've got Tato trying to get some damage here against Tim. It looks like this is where they've kind of isolated it down to. If they can kind of bring Tim out of it, they have a little bit more of a chance here. But Tim's got that castle up on the frontier protecting his gold. The Cavalier from Tato kind of doing what they can, but the house probably not going to be the best target in the world to really kind of bring that one back to damage. So Tim he doesn't have a whole heap of walls or anything. He's just playing well. He's just defended. And then we've got Vivi coming over with the camels to save it.
Well, let's give some props to Tato, guys, because Tato has propped up Doubt, and he'll need to do that more. He's also propped up Viper, and Viper's been able to click to the Imperial Age, build a castle on the hill. Vivi is forced to chase Tato down, and if Tato splits his army here, which he is doing, yeah, this will just be wonderful.
This
doesn't find any build picks. But yeah, well played from Tato. He just needs to keep his army here. Don't lose your army here, Tato. You need to keep your opponents running around after you.
Oh, he's committing to it. I don't know how I feel about this.
I think he should have tried to run a little bit, and he will be cleaned up, and that means Vivi can send all that army right back to Doubt's base, or that could go to Viper's base. Viper's making a few Gebetto right now, which is quite a good decision when your opponent has a lot of camels.
I really like it, actually. It's a good decision. Obviously, limited production there to his castles, and if he loses those castles, it's going to be a little bit of trouble, but I think it's a good answer.
Well, Doubt's in big trouble now. Doubt is in big trouble. Can he hold on here? He has the stone to build another castle if he loses the one on the front, or he could go into some repairs to stall. Meanwhile, Tato is still defending Viper a little bit. It's really all about
transition to that heavy camel.
Yeah. It's all about the fat dragon now. Vivi, Indian camels, getting coinage to possibly sling some resources to an ally, and Tato's camels are not near as good as Indian camels. It's not even close.
Oh man, I'm looking at this one right now and I'm not feeling confident. The way they're kind of being able to push Frantic, that is, at the moment. They're pretty much dominant in the field at the moment. I would say that the heavy camels from Tato buying some time over towards Viper. But like you said, Vivi at the moment, he's kind of just pushing it on Doubt. He's just putting a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of pressure there. And half his army is not even there. He's ready to help push in against Viper again. Like, that's the kind of situation we're in at the moment. Vivi has just absolutely taken off and ran with this one.
He has the most population in the game as the flank. He's going to kill Doubt's castle at this rate. He can honestly research Imperial Camel at this rate. And I don't know if there's any response to that. Tato would almost need to go into halberdiers, and he doesn't have them yet. So he's making his own camels. Tim is on the northern side now with Vivi, so even halberdiers wouldn't work. And Imperial Camel's on the way for Vivi. My word.
Got CL moving out across the map at the moment as well. Not sure exactly what he was trying to accomplish there, but going to get spotted by some of... Yep, there we go. Tato's camels are going to be on that one quite quickly. So going to be able to deny whatever kind of push that was, which should be relatively nice here. But in come the Arbalest from Tim to help out Vivi against Doubt, and I don't know if they're going to have the numbers here to really help Doubt out.
They need a few Maganel shots, and there's one. There's one, but there will be no more. Doubt, fortunately, is in the Imperial Age. Oh no! His stable that's researching Heavy Camel is going to die. It will die.
No.
He's actually canceled it. He's canceled it and he's repositioned it, but still, that's a lot of wasted time. And meanwhile, Viper is pushing forward on Teal, but who's going to die faster here? Is it going to be CL or is it going to be Doubt? I think Doubt's going to die faster at this rate.
CL again pushing out with a bunch of villages. He's got some monks there as well. Whether he's just trying to get over towards a fight with Doubt and really just kind of put a nail in the coffin there.
Yeah.
Or if he's trying to kind of get between Tato and Viper, I guess. That's probably the other situation. But he's going for that castle on the hill. Looks like they're trying to kind of cement their hold on that kind of center of the map there. But the Ghetto kind of moving in, getting the kills against the monks and doing what damage they can.
Yep. Good job from CL to get the castle up. He just needs to survive now. That'd be interesting. He's going into Camel Archers, so that'll be his third castle. So if he gets upgrades on them, he will be very well off for his Viper's Geppetto. But again, that side doesn't matter. You can forget about Viper, you can forget about CL. Just look at the other side where Doubt is in trouble.
That's it, man. We've got just... This is just a rough situation in general. We've got Heavy Camels fighting out against Imperial Camels. We've got Tim just moving in with his Arbalest. Look at that. He doesn't even care about the town center fire at this stage. He's just looking for damage. He's looking for those villager kills. He wants to, again, just bang another nail into this coffin here, and it's happening. Tato trying to get what damage he can, but Tim to the rescue with more of those Arbalests behind CL's base there as well.
Yeah, so Tim's on that side. I'm just wondering where Vivi is gone now, because Vivi's not accompanying Tim on his side. And Doubt does have Heavy Camel, and he finally pulls back. What I will say is that Doubt's villager population isn't too bad. It's at 80. I thought he'd lose a lot more, and he's getting Imperial Camel now. And so we have Imperial Camel on the way for Doubt, which I assume he will complete. And there's possibilities. There's definitely possibilities. Viper's elite Geppettos, they're incredibly strong, and Viper's good with his mobile ranged units. And he has dominant position in front of CL's base. So if CL doesn't get the Camel Archer numbers, this could be trouble for the Frantic team.
There's definitely a chance here looking at. They've dealt with that castle on the front there. However, those Arbalests moving in from Tim at the moment, they are going to be nasty. Imperial Camels are getting taken down. Doubt doing his best to kind of stay in the fight here, but looking at that base, that is just absolutely gutted. His economy running on bare bones at the moment. Ooh. But here we go. Here's the push with the Camel Archers. We've got the Arbalest in here as well. There's Ghetto, not going to be able to do too much about that. This might be it, man. Now
Viper's feeling it. Now he only has 17 military. He'll lose TCs. He'll lose castles soon, I imagine. And Tim is getting Bombard Tower. I wonder if Killer B is out there. Because Killer B wanted to see a Bombard Tower in the previous series. And you know what else we're going to get? We're going to get a ballsy Fat Dragon Castle from Vivi. It's not really ballsy at this stage because of how dominant his team is has been. But no, it is. It is. Look at this. Look how forward this castle is. It could get denied.
Look, it's a strong half sack, man. A strong half sack.
Yeah, I think he'll get that up because of the positioning of the Arbs and Vivi coming in with his own camels. Is Frantic going to take this game? It seems like it.
I'm just watching what Secret has at the moment, what they've got left. It is just melting behind a lot of this. We've got such a strong combination here. The Arbalest behind the Camel Archers, and then on top of that as well, we have Imperial Camel, which is absolutely dominating for Vivian. Doubt's got up into Imperial Camels as well, but where's the numbers? He doesn't have the numbers to defend anything right now.
I think the GG comes in shortly if Doubt's eco gets hit. He's had to reposition so much of his economy, it's all exposed. If Vivi gets there, could be over. Look, Tato's trying to build a castle. That will be denied. Doubt will lose villagers. And Viper's still getting pushed. I can't believe what I'm seeing because the play from Tim surprised me so much, but it's worked, Turkman. It has worked.
Absolutely, it has. I would say at the start, it was kind of a little bit shaky there overall because he didn't have that mobility like we were talking about. But once kind of Vivi managed to cement himself and CL managed to cement himself, Tim didn't need that mobility.
Wow.
He was just there for damage.
Man, at the start of this tournament, people were talking about who they thought would make it into the top 2, because the top 2 make it to the LAN final, which will be next year. And a lot of the people were saying Secret or Aftermath or SY. I don't think people were saying Frantic. And Frantic's 3rd place in the overall standings, and they're about to go 2-1 up in this best of 5 for Secret.
Add it to your list. These guys have been playing phenomenally this entire series now. We've got the trade coming up from Secret, but at the end of the day, look how restricted they are.
Yeah.
We've got Viper obviously putting up those castles. I think that's probably what he was thinking about when he was putting those castles down. More than pushing it against CL, it's going to be to defend the trade.
I wonder if they can hold this. It's really just Doubt at the moment, which doesn't... He's not in a great position. I wonder if they can hold this. I don't think so. Tata gets the castle up just to lose it. Any trade they do add will be cleaned up by these Camel Archers, and CL's going right in for it. Will this be the GG moment? Because there's no way to stop these Camel Archers. Tata's trying to build a castle. That will be denied as well.
Well, even looking at it, Doubt's on 80 village account right now, 50 of which are idle. He's got nowhere to put them. He's got nowhere safe to have it. He built up behind Tato because that was the safest kind of location he had. But even now, that's just being absolutely razed. So there's nothing he can really do to kind of defend this one. I don't think he's going to be able to get back into the game. Even then, he's invested into trade carts.
Yep.
And they're just all about to get knocked down anyway.
Yep. And of course, the trade is being added for Frantic. They're not worried at home at all. They can take advantage of any extra wood or gold or stone that's in the center of the map. And we have yet another castle now. This will be the 6th castle for CL. Man, as he bounced back in this game. And look at the force from Tim, from Vivi, and from CL in this corner. My word.
This is just, man, it's in a team game, and that's what we're seeing here. We've got Tato on Skirms doing his best. We've got Pikes out from Viper, Ghetto out from Viper. They're just doing everything they can to kind of hold on to this one now. But here comes, it looks like the Elite Camels are pushing for the trade.
Yeah, Camels will go into the trade. This castle will go down. And I think the GG will be called. And there it is. Frantic gets their victory. They go 2-1 up in this best of 5. And that was... Man. That was unexpected, not prior to this game, but after seeing what the strategies were, that was unexpected for me.
Oh, absolutely. Like, the team play in this, like, from even the last 2 games, we've seen basically what these guys are kind of capable of overall, but seeing how that kind of worked out was something else, and just the way kind of, I wasn't expecting, you know, Vivi to take off like he did, and the same with CL. I thought they were going to be really a little bit down for the punch until Tim could kind of come in and start to, you know, relieve some of that pressure, but man, the way they kind of held that one overall, that was something else.
Oh, Viper with the G. With the G. Just one single G. The salty G. So it's hard to get into Viper's head. Maybe he's saying that because he's versed Tim. I wouldn't look too much into that, but we are commentators, so we have to mention those things so the viewers can talk about it. Maybe Viper is salty. Who knows? But I'd be frustrated. Yeah, I would be frustrated if I'm a Secret player because I felt like the lack of Tim's mobility would be good for them. And really what happened was Vivi was just a beast. Because Vivi, he killed so many of Doubt's villagers alongside Tim, and Vivi hit him so much faster than Doubt that Tim not being able to get to the sides fast enough didn't matter. That was quite a play right there.
Yeah, absolutely perfect in terms of saying that, man. Like, that's what it came down to. Vivi, Doubt, like, it was looking pretty close overall between pretty much every player in the game there. And then the way that Vivi kind of managed to come and get the sneaky picks, did a little bit of damage, and then just started to put the pressure on more and more and more so, just managed to kind of skew it in the, I guess, Fnatic's favor and Frantic's favor. I'm losing all my words right now. It's 6 a.m., don't judge me. But basically, that's kind of what managed to pull this one aside, because that's where CL could really come out of his box, Tim could come out of his box, and then from there, they managed to push out, and that's where they were doing the damage. And the fact they could group up as a team behind this as well, man, it just cemented them so well, because it was a strong opening for Secret, a really strong opening.
Regardless of where your allegiances lie, it's great that we're in a time in Age of Empires 2 where players like the Viper, Doubt, and Tato are falling behind in a series. Because for a while, it was Tyrant, And we're in a time now where we have amazing teams who can always get results, whether that's in 3v3s, 4v4s, 1v1s, 2v2s, you name it. So this is an exciting time for Age of Empires 2. We're going to get into Gorge.
Gorge, an exciting time. Probably the most wallable, I would say, of the maps we've had thus far.
Kind of. The gorge,
Kinda,
the
like,
gorge
obviously
makes
the
that. The gorge makes that tough. Yeah. So there's a big if. I'm really curious to see what civs are picked here because all the stone is in the gorge. Viewers, you'll find out here in a moment. So before we do the full intro for this game, please, if you have the time, check out Barbecue Turkmen's channel. You can type !casters at any point. There's any stream here to see the casters' individual channels. Turkmen does not stream, unfortunately, but he does have... You don't even upload all that frequently anymore, but he has hundreds and hundreds of videos that you guys could check out. It'd be quite cool, actually, because he was one of the first YouTubers, so you could see some of the old legends playing in some 1v1s and team games on his channel. That goes for myself as well. I'm T90 official. I do stream more often than Turkmen does. I was not around for all those games back in the day. I was actually watching you make those videos. So let's do this, man.
That's super cute.
Super
Excellent.
cute. Aww.
Dude, it was beautiful. It was great. And that's the thing. I couldn't be happy with the people that are kind of holding those torches at the moment and what the scene's turned into. So let's have a look at the game here. You can kick it off, mate.
Yeah, we're going to start with Frantic. Frantic, they win this game. They win this final. They get more points towards the overall standings. They get a decent chunk of prize pool money. And we have Vivi, who in my opinion was the MVP of the last game for his team. He is playing as the Malians in the blue. In the teal, we have CL. CL is playing as the Persians. And then in the green, we have Tim. And Tim is playing as the Turks.
For Secret, moving from the north of the map, we have Doubt in the purple playing as the Mongols. From there, Viper again in the trademark yellow as the Franks. And of course, their last and final player for this 3v3 series, we have Tato as the Turks in red.
And already, Doubt says, thank you very much. I'm going to have that boar. So he steals a boar from Tim. That's going to hurt Tim. That's going to really help Doubt. Mongols, very good civ for this Turkmen. Very good civ for a lot of different reasons.
I like it. That's absolutely brutal. Straight away getting... Wow.
It's tournament play, guys. It's tournament play. A lot of these guys will not lame in rated games, but when it's a tournament, you got to go for it. Now...
Even then, a lot of walls and things you won't see from a lot of players as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when tournament game, when push comes to shove, they'll use everything in the arsenal they've got.
Correct. Yep. So let's talk about the map a little bit. All of the stone on this map is in the gorge. That's why it's called Gorge. There is gold on your mainland. It's also pretty easy to wall up the mainland if you wall between all these wood lines. But if you want to get to a unique unit, if you want extra TCs, all your stone is there. And I'm looking at these civs now. I think we're going to see a sling situation with Turks, honestly. I think the Turks will probably wall and sling. That's my guess. But hey, if Turks want to go for Janissaries, they'd have to go here to get the stone. Mongols as well. Mongols would be a big one. If they get to Mangadai, it's really hard to stop them. But all of that stone is in the gorge. And then maybe Malians will go for Gebettos, but... funny enough, there's a lot of civs here, which we probably won't see a huge emphasis on unique unit usage. That's a weird phrase.
No, I like it. It's perfect. But exactly like you said, all that stone, it's so much harder to come by. You've got some big chunks of gold. In fact, you'll have 2 really large chunks of gold and then 1 smaller chunk overall on your kind of starting plateau here. And then moving down to take the stone, that's where things get really dangerous because obviously you can't wall it in. You can't kind of get as much buildings down there. And any kind of walling you do try to do will be very, very limited. So they can get ranged units in there, take out a lot of villages very quickly. And again, being in that kind of middle situation, extremely hard to run away from. So it's definitely a risk versus reward. And like you said, whether or not we see the unique units kind of come out and actually go for play, Turks, I don't know what they can really else bring to the table overall. Obviously, free Hussar, free light cavalry. Apart from that, that's probably their big play, I guess.
Yeah, I believe it's for the sling, and if it is for the sling, you need walls. Tim, you better wall quickly, my friend, because Doubt had an extra pig, and Doubt is Mongols. So here come the walls. I think Tim could be caught out here. This is dangerously late to be walling up when your flank, the opposing flank, is Mongols. We'll find out soon enough. Tato...
What have we got?
Let's see if Tato walls too. I mean, I'm okay with being wrong with my predictions. That's fine. But I also don't see any other reason to go with Turks here.
Look, as nice as it would be to see there's like a full YOLO Castle Janissary drop on top of Vivi,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. Just because, you know, if they lose this game, it's over. They have to play this safe. They have to make something special happen with it at the same time, not really kind of going too far with it. That said, Doubt just about to hit Feudal already. This is awesome timing from him. That extra pig making such a difference.
Tim, you better quick wall. Viewers were saying that Viper lost his crossbows because of the China lag. You better quick wall with the China lag. Oh, this is bad. That scout is the weak scout from earlier. But if Doubt plays this correctly, he'll tell his allies to come and join the wall. Or not, yeah, join the area, join the party. Tim, no, wall it up.
Oh, he's fighting it. He's fighting it. He's trying to fight it. Why is he doing this?
He could gate this.
This is just buying him more and more time. The stable's up for Doubt. We have production on the way. If he can keep this open, I don't think he's going to be able to, though.
It's fine. It's fine. Tim, he's Chinese, man. He knows all about those great walls, so he's good. I think Tato will go for scouts into Sling. Again, this is just my guess, but that's what he's done before. So he is building his barracks and he'll build a stable. Tim is still in Dark Age, so he's no sign of what's coming from him. Probably we'll see that in a few minutes. We see a fast castle from CL then for Frantic, and then it'll be the same for Vivi. So lots of fast castling here.
This is really interesting, actually. We're basically seeing Arena, essentially, from the Frantic guys here.
Yeah.
So, not sure exactly how they're going to kind of play it out from here. Obviously, map control you kind of lose with that as soon as you start to wall, but at the same time, we can see the same kind of play from all of the secret guys. You've got Viper up in full walls, and that's pretty early for him to full wall in general as well. Obviously, some pressure could have kind of come in, but, you know, it's tournament play. He's making it happen, and end of the day, if they lose this one, it's game over.
Well, what this strategy does is it gives Viper a great opportunity to win with the Sling. So if I'm right on this, we have Doubt, we have Tato starting off with a few scouts. Actually, I'm sorry, not scouts for Tato. He's making a few archers, believe it or not. And that's getting a lot of early map control. And then if there's a fallback to the Sling for Tato, Viper will have lots more areas to hit, essentially. So I mean, he could choose Turks and go for something like Cav Archers. It is Tato, right? And he started off with the archery range, which I didn't expect. But I guess there's a lot of unanswered questions right now. We'll get those answers soon.
Alright, looking around, let's just have a quick look at the Vil counts, I guess, while everyone's kind of walling up and playing that economy game. We've got 27 for Viper, 27 for Doubt, 26 for Tato. Same time, looking very, very similar for the Frantic guys. We've got 27 for Vivi, 30 for Tim, and 29 for CL. So a little bit of an advantage there. But there we go, Viper already clicking up to Castle Age. Tim only still getting towards Feudal Age now.
Yeah, it's weird how late he is here. This is... he has 30 villagers. This is something where if it was an arena map, it could be a fast Imperial, but I doubt that would happen here, though I'd like to see it at least attempted. Just a later time than usual, I guess, because he spent so much time walling up. And he'll be in Castle Age soon-ish.
Playing as Turks as well, so maybe he's potentially going for the Sling as well. He's got his walls up, he's got a huge economy behind this, could be potentially looking to sling someone on his team as well, which we're kind of seeing from Tato, I guess, as well. Tato really trying to make him, I guess, Vivi work for it here. He's forcing the stone walls up. A couple of those archers doing a really good job. He's actually got fletching behind it as well, but there goes CL nearly at Castle Age. He's already got bloodlines, so it looks like we will be seeing a little bit of aggressive play from him. Persians as well, so gonna have a little bit of bonus versus some archers too.
Vivi is slinging. So Vivi has sent resources already to CL. CL is Persians, and CL will be going with a lot of knights. And yes, I did not expect that from Vivi. I thought that Vivi would be the aggressor. Still no sign of what Tim will be doing in the next stage. But yes, there is Sling. I think that Tato will do so as well soon. He's full stonewalling. He's not over-investing into archers. He has done a great job annoying Vivi. Let's see if Tato builds that market soon. Yep, there we go. So he will also sling. So this is... I'm kind of proud of myself right now. I figured it out, man. I'm in their heads. I know what's coming.
You got to the end of that Sudoku, man. You knew what was up.
Yep. So it'll be a sling to Viper. and Viper will be, I mean, he has the best Paladin Civ in the game. We saw what he could do with Berbers. Let's see what he can do with Franks next.
All right, what have we got? We've got the 2 stable overall from Viper. Have we seen a third anywhere? Not that I can... Oh, no, Blacksmith. Not that I can see there. How are we looking in terms of stables for CL? Is he just on the 2 as well? Yes. And extra town center coming up in the back for CL. Looks like we did see a extra town center coming up on the main gold of Viper there as well. So going to be able to defend that one, plus get a little bit more extra villager production. So very, very similar plays here. Yeah,
you get the food boost, the gold boost from the sling, and then you also add your own economy behind this, so you're much, much stronger on your own later on. And we see CL and Viper doing this. Persians and Franks have fantastic paladins. What are the other players doing? Like what is Tim doing now? He's getting Bodkin. He's gonna go Cav Archers. Wow.
Ooh.
And this is
interesting.
And Doubt can see the archery range as well, so Doubt is probably expecting this. What is Doubt gonna be doing here? He's added TCs. Yeah, he's added TCs.
TC.
Yeah. So
yep.
Just
boom.
Boom.
Also getting those eco.
Boom, Knights and Camels, I guess.
Interesting. This will be... Because obviously we've got kind of 2 players here going for the same thing. So we've got Tato and we've got Vivi down at the bottom of the map. Both those guys will be slinging.
Yes.
We've got Viper and then CL essentially playing in the pockets directly opposite each other. We will be receiving sling going Paladin.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of the only wild card here is we've got Doubt who's about to do something and Tim who's going wild card and Cavalry Archer.
Yeah, I mean, better fights here for Secret. These archers, believe it or not, are doing a great job from Tata. The archers and the spears, the very least, are a distraction, right? That way, CL is not able to focus on Viper's Knights. Whoa, we have a group of accordion knights. Let's go. Look at that. That was a fun little glitch.
They're looking pretty.
Yeah.
They be pretty.
So, more aggression coming from Frantic, but it takes a long time to make these Cav Archers. Tim is working on it. Very late up from him. And so he'll fall behind Doubt's villager count. He needs to make something of this. Maybe help CL out, as CL has fallen slightly behind Viper's army number. And also, Viper has an amazing boom going as well. I mean, it's such a strong strat. Just full wall, sling the Viper, and usually that means you'll get a victory.
Well, let's hope his micro kind of pays up. But that's the thing. His speed allows him to have that economy. It allows him to have the micro everything at once.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of where he goes for it. We've got the monastery going down for Viper. He's got the market, so it looks like he's looking to go on an imp pretty soon, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's just when, right? Because if you make too few knights, then you get overrun by the Cav Archers and by the knights from CL. And here are the Cav Archers. Viper's looking to chase these down. And Tim needs to be very careful.
Big.
Yeah. But, you know, Doubt's gold's not in a great position. Oh, and the Cav Archers get in there. Are you kidding me? I wonder if Doubt will delete his barracks. Yeah, he deletes the barracks. He builds a gate. And that's a good move.
Get the surround.
Yep.
There we go. So we can get him out of there. Get the surround on it. Do the damage he needs to do. Looks like we've got Tattoo up in the top of the map at the right now. Trying to get some kind of poke against CL, or at least get some scouting information. Do the damage where he can. Tim has started his stone walls by the looks of it, up behind a lot of his base at the moment. Still a couple of chunks of palisade left, but not really too much at the moment where it's going to be an issue for him.
Viper's flooding knights. 4 stable knight production, whereas CL, I think he wants to go to the Imperial Age. He already has a monastery.
He's got a couple monks out, actually, moving towards that top section as well. Looks like he could be going for a few converts, because you've got the cavalry archers there from Tim. You've got the knights. If he gets a couple of converts as well, the way that'll swing that even further in favor, it'll look pretty decent.
He's housed badly. Like, housed badly, so he can't produce any more villagers. This is really sloppy from him. This is not the time. You want to get this victory here. Doubt's golds are so unfortunate, man. Both of these golds are forward. So
I'm just looking at it, and again, lemon face, like, to a hard one, and in come the knights.
Oh, Doubt, you gotta wall up your base, man. And Viper's nowhere to be found, because Viper was expecting everything would be okay. Doubt deletes an opening for Viper to arrive, and this is just a disaster for Doubt. I do think...
You've got a couple of good Mangonel hits, but end of the day, he's going to have to try and clean this one up. You've still got the monks outside the base there. They can potentially go for a couple of converts. Viper going to be able to clean it up, but Doubt losing a lot of time.
Yeah, I think CL should have left the other direction, but I guess Doubt would have plugged to the gap, so good decision to come here. And this is where you save all your numbers if you're CL. Don't take too many early engagements, because
He's
if you
getting
do,
1 or 2 though.
you won't have as
Man.
much an imp.
He's taken some great just little attacks there. Managed to get one on the way out, on the way next to the stable. Here come the monks, potentially being able to get some converts. Cavalry archers from Tim coming up behind it as well. I'm still not sure if the numbers will be enough, actually.
I don't know if that's enough cav archers. They don't have thumb ring yet. Viper's just pure knights, and I think Viper will win this fight. And then the Machinel comes in. Oof. One Machinel shot.
Good splash.
The monks go down. The knights go down. That is basically what I said was, don't lose your knight numbers, because now is the time to start massing them. And he lost his knight numbers. That's tough to see. Viper now with 27 military, man. He's going to be an imp right behind him.
Yeah, you also said early on, you've got to be careful with your Imperial Age timing, which is fantastic. If you actually have a look at the Imperial Age timings, you can see CL clicked up earlier.
Yeah.
You can see Viper has more numbers, and CL's going to be an Imperial earlier, but he's going to have nothing to really do with it.
Yeah, I think that Viper being later to imp does not matter here because of his numbers. He has double the numbers. And the Cav Archer move from Tim, what has it done here? Not all that much, right? He's 30 Vils behind Doubt. I feel like a better approach would have honestly been to just send all of his gold to CL, you know? Like double sling, because his Cav Archers haven't contributed anything to this game, and Doubt has such a big lead over him. This is looking good for
even
Secret.
then, you could see CL was gearing up to get an assault on Tato here. Tato in Feudal wouldn't have been able to defend himself. Of course, Viper could run to the rescue.
Yeah.
The question would have been how quickly. And even then, Viper's there. He's getting rid of this forward position. He's getting rid of the mangonels and just keeping his allies safe. This is perfect.
Yeah, and Viper has 81 of his own villagers. Okay, he is human. He's housed. So he also is scrambling up houses in the back of his base.
Man, this is something else from Tato here now as well. He snuck a villager, but not even snuck. It's kind of just gamed its way across the map. Actually dropping some outposts. He wants to know what's going on. He's going to have that intel. Man, that's really next level, actually.
Yeah, we saw this last game from, or one of the games from Tim, too. Tato has control of these areas where trade might run, and where they might get stone. Like, for example, Tim now's looking to get stone, and Tato's there, and Tato could kill those villagers. So kind of a funny thing, but a very important thing.
Well, that's it. Now they know Tim was pushing for stone. That's going to be 3 free kills. Like, these units would have been just giveaways anyway. So This is actually fantastic play. It's making the most of everything he has to offer here.
And Viper's about to complete Cavalier, and CL is trapped in here with Tim. This is not the first time we've said this. They're going too far, and Viper, he groups up his Cavalier perfectly on both sides, and he will win another fight here. 28 kills, 11 deaths for Viper. It's just...
Man, Viper... He's punishing. He's punishing everything.
It's just so easy for the guy. You give him those extra resources, he does not make mistakes. But let's keep in mind, heavy camel for CL. That's not something Franks get. Viper will probably click Paladin in, though. If Viper gets Paladin, it's going to be a lot stronger than Cavalier.
Doubt's got 2 castles. He's going for the Mangadai. He's already got Mangadai in production. This is going to be rough.
Yeah, and that's why I was questioning the decision to go for Cav Archers at all. For Tim, what I thought for sure it would be a sling. Instead, they had the Malian player sling, which I still don't get. And Doubt will be an imp with Mangadai, so it won't just be Viper, right? And I don't even think Viper needs to push at the moment, right? He's in a good position already. He just needs to make sure Doubt is there to fight with him.
He's just keeping him busy at this point, really.
Yep.
Look at this. He's keeping Tim's Cavalry Archers at home. The Mangadai come in from behind. Going to be able to help this one out quite a lot. He's kind of just pushing Tim back across the map again with his Cavalry Archers. CL can't engage anywhere just because Viper's numbers are kind of cruising around everywhere. The only thing I can really think is if Viper gets caught out of position here, but that's not how Viper plays. Viper's the one who catches you out of position.
Look at this cheeky tower from Tato on the stones. And, you know, he sees everything with that outpost, that villager. And now Viper sends over a few Cavalier and he'll destroy Vivi's Vills. So it's great team play here from Secret. That's funny. And Tim just lost all of his Cav Archers on the front. And Tim has really had a bad game here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. It has not been a good game from him.
Well, that's it. You look at Vivi, who's been slinging the entire game. His overall score at the moment is at 3-1. You've got Tim at 4-3.
Yeah.
Just above that. Like, that's not a good sign in general. Obviously, score isn't everything to kind of go off. But it looks like the Mangadai might actually get caught out of position by Tim's cavalry archers here.
They are elite Mangadai, though, and these are just Castle Age Cav archers fighting uphill.
Oh, you're right.
So the trade is much better for Doubt. Yep. And Viper's here with Paladins. I think pretty soon Tim is going to be a dead man because Viper's here, Doubt is here, and CL, he's still trying to track Viper back at his base, and he'll kill that army from Viper, but it's about what is coming next. Can they stop that? Yeah, I don't think so.
We're basically seeing the same kind of situation we saw in the last game, actually. If basically the Viper and Doubt manage to push in through here, they can gut the top north player, and then from there, it kind of all falls back on a CL. And if CL is receiving slings, there's nothing really Vivi can do about that. Vivi has no sign of kind of transitioning out of that one at the moment, either from Tato. In fact, there we go, Castle Age from Tato.
Yeah.
So he's looking at actually starting to get back into the game here and kind of do a little bit more military play. But that's it. It'll just fall back onto CL, and I don't know if he's going to have exactly what it takes, because he's going to be up against 2 players here.
That
3
is
even
a
once Tato
sign.
wins the fray.
That is a sign that they're aware that they're in a dominant position, because clicking up to Castle Age is oftentimes a risk, because that 800 food, 200 gold could be better suited for one of the teammates, right? So the fact that Tato's advancing to Castle Age at the moment is a sign that Secret's aware that they're in a dominant position. But my hat is going off to CL for hanging in here against Frank Paladins, against Elite Mangadai. He's done a great job in this series. He's done a great job today. That, however, that's as good a fight as it gets, but he will still lose the fight.
But where was Tim? Tim ran away with a lot of those units.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of heavy camels sitting up on the hill here as well. Basically engaged with like half of what they had there.
It's just peculiar to try and go Cav Archers as Turks in this situation. Or at least, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tato's Sling has obviously worked out really well. Now, keep in mind that Frantic could not choose Mongols because they chose Mongols on another one of the maps. So perhaps Secret saving this civilization shows just how experienced they are with knowing where the civs have success.
Very true. They could have been limiting this one. This could have been their fallback plan, basically.
Yep.
Because they knew the Mongols had been exhausted. They can kind of have the dominant one in this position here overall, and it's working out for them absolutely brilliantly.
Well, let's not say it's over just yet. Tim does have Imperial Age upgrades on the CA. The CL is pushing against Doubt. Doubt should back up here. Viper has left him. The Viper is going towards CL's base. Does CL know about this? He hasn't reacted yet. Okay, now he knows. If Viper gets in, CL loses a lot of villagers. And Viper, he just fights the army instead.
There's walls, but they're only palisade walls, so he can get through that pretty quickly. The wall up behind, though, is happening, so he'll be able to get that pretty quickly. I guess even then, you've got Doubt in a pretty dominant position here versus Tim. Obviously, Cavalry Archer, heavy Cavalry Archer on the way. I did see Parthian Tactics earlier as well, so getting his ups here. So he's not going to be able to go 100% toe for toe, but he's going to be able to make a good stand of it at least. Siege Workshop. Looks like we're not really seeing too much, but mostly just producing from those, I guess.
Yep, and there's a big problem now for Frantic, and that is that Tato will soon be in the game, and that means that Vivi will probably die. So Frantic, they need to push up this hill, and that is not going to be an easy task.
Secretly been taken, well, not even secretly, I should say. He's just been taken stone. He wouldn't care if anyone saw him at this point. But the castles are up, the Janissaries are on their way out, and of course, as we know, Janissaries is just a one-off unit. The damage output on those guys is ridiculous. Watchtower coming up as well, so going to deny any further wall off behind this. If Tato can crack in here against Vivi, it will potentially just end this.
Yeah, and Vivi, he's had a rather boring game, I imagine, because he was forced to sling, you know, but he can't defend himself. He's waiting on an ally. Again, CL has played really good considering the circumstances here, but will he have enough? So he chases Viper away, and then he's forced to address Tato. And Tato, it's an awkward civ to play with, Turks. So I'm thinking maybe Gunpowder. Stick with Gunpowder, go with some Bombard Towers.
Interesting. We've got the elite tech down for Tim as well. So those cavalry archers, or heavy cavalry archers, with 100 hit points on those bad boys.
Yeah.
But here come the Mongol Rams. This is where it's really at.
And Viper's even flaunting this monk. He's like, I have a relic in front of you. I don't even care. You can't get it. He probably accidentally grouped this guy, you know, as like their fearless leader. The grouping on the units from Downton Viper was pretty bad, though. I mean, the Mangadai really need to be behind the Paladins, and there we go. That is when they need to fight. And that is going to be a fight that they can win.
Rams pushing against the buildings, opening that hole up. On top of that as well, working for their absolute bulk, getting soaked on that. But there's the GG.
Yep, there's the GG, and we're going to see a Game 5. We'll see what civs they have for the next map. I have to say, though, Frantic, they played amazing, right? They got 2 wins, but this game was just weird strategy-wise from them. It could be one of those things where secret strategy was so good that it just made Frantics look bad. But I think it was a combination of good thought process on the civ selection and strat from Secret, and not the best thought process and civ selection from the Frantic players. Because I don't understand why you would have Turks fight in Castle Age and have Malians sling, when Turks would be the better sling civ because they collect gold faster, and Malians have so much more firepower than Turks. I'm still confused.
I was, trying to figure that one out as well. And I'm sitting here, like, I'm doing a little bit of a head on palm, kind of lean on the desk here, trying to work through every kind of option we had there. And that's it. Tim, he went into the Cavalry Archers, which are a very, very expensive unit as well. So they don't trade effectively well unless you're getting massive kills from hit and run, obviously. Against Doubt, it kind of worked out at the start because he had those forward golds. But apart from that, he just couldn't do anything with them apart from join the fight CL was already in. And even then, he was sitting behind it. And if units came in from the wrong side, it was game over.
Robo says, guess what happens in this game? Oh, there must have been another drop here. Okay, so apparently during the final game, there was a drop at some point. So we will have to do the fancy schmancy separate game room cast here. So we'll get that set up. Give us 2 to 3 minutes, guys, and we'll get the next game going. This will be the final game of the day. Thanks again, everybody, for being here to enjoy these amazing games. I just want to mention that Frantic could have also chosen those civilizations to save some civs for this final match. So Sahara will be the final game, and I'm pumped. We'll be back in a few for one more game, my friends. All right, guys. You guys ready for this? No, I won't. Are you guys ready for this final game?
I know I'm ready. I can be ready enough for everyone we got in the chat right now. This is it, man. The finale of this session. Like,
yeah, seriously, what a day it has been. I've been watching the Twitch chat all day. There's been a lot of people here, almost for the entirety of the event, so thank you. Regardless of how long you've been here, whether you're active in the chat or not, thank you for supporting this amazing game. Thank you for the kind words about Turkman and myself. Are you in the game and ready to go? Because I'm paused at 0 seconds and we can do the whole 3, 2, 1, we're ready to rock thing. This will be the final, the final test of our synchronization skills. That's what it will be.
Well, we got one more after this. We got one more
this
chance.
Is true. Yeah.
We'll see how we go. But let's nail this one. I agree. Let's not hold on to that. Let's do this. All right. So how do you want to do it? Because it's been our timing at the start that stuffed us every single time.
So 3, 2, 1, and then we say we're ready to rock. That's what we're gonna do.
All right.
Okay.
You go. All right. What I'll say, you just start and you go, and I'll jump in with you. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to go.
All right, we got this. I've never been more motivated to do anything in my life. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Stop it!
You're doing rock and roll.
You're doing that on purpose, man. That's got to be intentional.
I nailed that.
That was obvious sabotage from Barbecue Turkman. That was obvious sabotage.
I nailed that one. I thought I nailed that.
Man,
personally.
I was so into that too. Jeez. All right, guys. Welcome to the final game in a best of 5 between Frantic and Secret. This is a 3v3, and whoever wins this gets a large chunk of the prize pool. Whoever wins this also gets some points, which they will need to hold on to get to that land final at the end of this event. So we have CL for Frantic. He's playing as the Huns. He's the flank. A pocket far, far away is Tim. Tim is playing as the Italians. And then we have Vivi. Vivi is playing as the Ethiopians in this game.
For Secret on the flank, we have Doubt playing as the Ethiopians in the purple. In the pocket, we have Tato playing as Italians in the red. And then again, the Viper in the yellow, playing as the Huns on the flank as well versus CL.
Wow, I love how it's the same civs in the same positions. I think that Secret would have preferred to have Viper as Hun's pocket. Having Viper as pocket means that you could sling him. So maybe we will not see any slinging this game to the Viper. Though you never know. You never know. It's happened a lot. Huns versus Huns, Italians versus Italians, and Ethiopians versus Ethiopians. And this map, as the scouts are fighting from Vivi and from Doubt, this map is called Sahara. Barbecue Turkman.
I'm checking out the map right now, and I'm trying to see who's probably in the worst off position. Just kind of going around. Everyone's got like a reasonably close wood. Viper, I would say, and CL probably with some of the worst at the moment, just having a little bit of a cruise. But again, kind of balances out because we've got CL versus Viper. Both of them having a further end wood should be nice in general. It keeps it nice and balanced. In fact, we've got same civs, like you said. We've got same locations overall, and relatively similar in terms of the maps. I would say, even then, do you think anyone has an actual, like, definitive map advantage?
Like a bat? Oh, yeah, Viper does, for sure, I think. Viper has 2 back wood lines. He has 2 back golds, whereas CL, he has 2 forward golds and nothing behind. So that's going to be a real concern. But
so the big thing, being that Viper can kind of back up here, CL has to hold that front.
But honestly, when you play the Viper in tournaments, you have to understand that not only is he one of the best players, but he always gets the best maps. So that is what you come to expect. So this might not come as a surprise for CL. He'll just probably say, okay, I don't need to scout Viper's base for you guys. Viper has back golds. I don't even need to scout it. It's back there. We know. So at least that helps with the scouting. Beyond
just leave
that,
the whole back untouched.
I mean, I know it's kind of a joke, like the whole map hacks thing is a joke, but I've casted this game, and you have cast this game for a long time, and it's cruel just how many times Viper ends up getting the best map when he is known as the best player. Obviously, he'd be a 1600 noob without the maps, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of cruising around at the moment, and how many boar has Viper got there?
Did Viper lose a boar?
Because I can see he's got 2 at the town center. He's got 1 still in the back.
Yeah.
I'm only seeing 1 in for
Oh,
CL
so he lamed a boar. Where's the scout? Oh, he lamed.
He must have.
Yeah, he lamed.
Yeah.
So it was a weak scout. Okay. So, and look, he ran right forward, and of freaking course, the boar was right there. Look, he didn't even see where his opponent is, but the boar was on the front. It's like back boars, back gold. It's sickening, guys. It is truly sickening how he always gets that little bit of an edge there. Well,
and the thing is a player that's good enough to take advantage of every single situation. You give him a front boar, he'll take it. You give him back boar, he'll leave him as long as he can.
He lost the bill. What a scrub. He has back golds and back boars, and he still loses a bill. What a noob. That's perfect.
And is he even stealing some CL sheep there as well, in all honesty, looking at this?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Man, CL is in for a rough ride here. This is going to be brutal.
Yeah, Viper got the boards. He got the sheep. Of course, he lost a Vil, but he'll... You know, I think this changes his whole strategy choice. Because normally what you'd do is you'd probably go for something like scouts or archers on the flank. But I think that instead Viper could go for some fast castle funky business. He really could. And CL luckily has pushed deer. Luckily he can click up. But he has fallen behind here, and Viper will know that. Viper needs to be cautious though. He can't be too greedy with this. And I think he will click up on 22 pop as well.
Alright, and I guess that's probably the other thing as well. At this point in this tournament overall, there's been so many games, you've seen so many unique playstyles that are registered to a player as well. You know when those walls come up. You can actually go through and analyze this just about tit for tat. And every game at this point, things are starting to happen more and more the same. So they can get a really good read on their opponent, and that gives them breathing room. So they know what they should be able to get away with. How game they are to take that is the actual question, though.
Yeah, all the small things not going in Frantic's favor here. And Tim just finding his sheep a little bit late. You know, it's been tough for them in the Dark Age, I have to say. Whereas Secret, it's looking pretty good. And let's look at the strats they'll go for. I hear doubts on gold. So that's got to be archers for Doubt, as he's Ethiopians. And then we have Ethiopians for Vivi as well. This will be a fun matchup. We've seen Doubt versus Vivi a lot in this tournament. And it will be archers for them. Tato is building a stable now. He'll go scouts. We have that stable late for Tim, but Tim will also be going scouts. And then CL will be going scouts, I believe. And the deer has gone back, which really sucks for him. I believe his stable will go up. Yep.
That's it. How much has he even got in the bank, actually? He's barely got enough food in the bank right now to keep villager and scout production up. This is... that's the thing. He hasn't even got his stable up yet, and has been up to feudal age for a bit. He's not going to have the... He's probably going to just have it. Look how many villagers he's got in berries there. I think he's given up on the deer. Farms are starting to get dropped down, so he needs to kind of migrate a couple more villagers to wood here. And, man, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much with this kind of at the start. Viper's going to have that huge head start we'll kind of talk about. It's a villager down, but end of the day, that extra resource he's going to have is going to really kind of cement a little bit of a lead.
I think he would prefer the extra 550 food and -1 villager. He'd definitely prefer it. Weird to go scouts here. I think you're already having food problems. So why try and go scouts if you're CL? Really, really peculiar. I thought archers would be slightly better for him. Instead, he goes for scouts. And Viper, he'll see the scout from CL in his base, and he'll see the scout in CL's base. So while he hasn't scouted the stable, he'll at least know his opponent is going for that strategy.
Man, CL as well, just up to the north of his mill there. You can see he actually missed 2 sheep as well. That's about as rough of an opening as it gets. He had 4 sheep and a single boar to work with.
Well, considering that, heck of a job for him to get here. In fact, I think he knows now. He's scouted Viper's ranges. I think he knows now he's going to be behind, so he's going to stone early so he can build defensive towers, which is really smart thinking from him.
Oh, absolutely. He started playing a little bit more adaptive, because like you were saying there, kind of going straight for the scout coverage overall, could have been that he thought he kind of could have pulled it off and he wasn't that far behind. Could have been that he wasn't kind of trying to adapt more to it and the team had a plan and he kind of just wanted to stick with it as best as possible. But now moving to that stone, making sure he can kind of get some towers up, he can get some walls up if he needs them, that's going to put him in a much better situation.
Well, what I will say is that Viper will have to pressure elsewhere, but that would bring a 3v2 situation into play. Because you have Tim and you have Vivi making military non-stop at the moment. And then you have Viper making archers, you have Doubt making archers, and you have Tato making scouts for Secret. So, in theory, it should be a stronger army composition for Secret if they're in the same positions. And now Tato and Doubt are pushing to the right-hand side. I think that Vivi and Tim are just waiting for them, and they'll react to this immediately.
Yeah, they're trying to camp that hill at the front there. Obviously, at this stage, try and take every little advantage you can, every little piece of micro, every little hill advantage. Try and take whatever they can, but it looks like we've got Tato kind of doing a little bit of searching here. I don't think he's going to find any holes just looking at the base and kind of the layout here overall, but... And it looks like Tim and... Ooh, there we go. We've got Tim and CL, or sorry, Tim and Vivi could be moving out at the wrong time here. They might actually lose this hill.
Well, what time are you at, by the way? I'm at 15:20.
I'm moving forward. That's where I'm at.
Well, you're moving forward, and Doubt's archers are not, man. Doubt's archers, they got caught out of position. So that's exactly what the Frantic team needed here. And Viper's archers are moving forward. And Viper... Oh, is he going to get to the gold in time? I just wonder. CL's building towers. He will not get to that gold in time. There's a lot that could happen here. If CL doesn't see this... He could be in trouble, but okay, a little bit of luck, man. The tower goes up on the gold. Viper will have to run away from that.
It's very, very primed, but there you go. Doubt's Woodline losing one villager, potentially going to lose a second here as well. Does some little sneaky micro there to try and get away from it, and it'll actually save that villager.
Yeah, well played. Why is Viper sitting there? Yeah, okay, Viper realizes the tower's up, so Viper leaves with one less archer. And Tato, he made less scouts, so... That's why Doubt has fallen behind here. I mean, Doubt lost his archers, and he doesn't have the presence of Tato's scouts. But Tato will hit Castle Age first. And whoa! Whoa, 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 Tim! Wait. Tim is slinging.
Tim is slinging CL.
Oh my goodness. Did not expect to see that. Did not expect to see that. Tim is slinging CL back into this game. Wow. So Tim has just given up, and this might surprise Secret.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone was expecting this off the bat, actually. There's Tim. He's getting the sling. So not are they going to be down a player. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit more for CL to catch up here, but at the end of the day, he's going Castle Age already. Tato's going up to Castle Age as well. CL's going to be able to put some units on the field, get up to that Castle Age, use that tech advantage, and there you go.
Sling has an incredibly high win rate in this tournament. An incredibly high win rate. And this is just your standard play from Secret. No sling. At least no sling that I expect here. If anyone were to sling, it would be Doubt. And Doubt is just going with his archer build at the moment. Wow. What's the play? Will it be... Oh, Viper moves in with a few archers here. Will it be stables? Yeah, CL will try and go knights. Viper can actually fight these scouts at the moment. I wonder if he senses really like the sling. If he sees these towers, sees the stables, if he senses the sling is incoming. Just wonder.
That's it. It's in the stable, seen the market. What do we got going up? A blacksmith going up in the back as well.
Ooh, I think that they might sense this, in all honesty, because there's no reason that CL would be up to Castle Age unless he's receiving sling, and thus there's no reason you'd have two stables. So if he sees two stables, he assumes that CL is clicked up, and the only explanation is that someone is slinging him. So he should know.
There we go. So now it's basically sitting back, waiting to see what reaction we see. Viper is going for the double palisades, however. So it looks like he's starting to kind of prep for that one.
Yeah.
And Doubt doing a good job holding 2v1 there, actually. Obviously, Tim moving into the sling now, so not producing quite as much. But it looks like we've got Tato moving out. It looks like Doubt's going to move out with him as well.
Yeah, big problem for Doubt is he's behind in the Castle Age uptime. And Vivi has just fallen back. He'll wait for his upgrades and he'll push back out. This is doable for Frantic. And Tim sends his scouts in to help. Viper, what he's doing now is he's clicking all these units that are killing him to see what the upgrades are, to get an idea of what his opponents might going for. And he sees scale barding, and he sees bloodlines on those scouts. He has to assume sling here. He has to assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't see the knight, but look, he's seen the earlier uptime. He's seen the upgrades. You're absolutely right on that front there. He knows exactly what's coming at this point. He's kept his archers at home. He's going to wait, go for crossbows. He's got padded archer armor on the way. Chain barding on the way from CL as well. And there's a siege workshop on the front as well, actually, from CL. Looking to get aggressive here.
Viper doesn't expect this. Viper does not expect this. He's getting crossbow. He's getting bodkin. Viper has to be extremely careful. These will also be knights with chain barding. And
oh, man. It's not a good situation to be in here.
I don't think that Teal should continue here, because Viper can get the choke. But he does get that chain barding upgrade. And a Mackinac will be on the way soon. Oh, he's just going to keep Viper trapped in as long as possible. I'm so tense, man. I'm so tense. There's the Mackinac! And Viper splits away from it, but loses crossbows. He'll
Couple
lose
out in the
2
field.
more crossbows. Is Frantic going to do this with the sling? Wow. What a play, man. What a play. And Viper was, I don't think he was expecting it in hindsight because he ran out there way too early if that was the case. And he'll lose those crossbows.
And transition to cavalry archers. There we go.
Yeah.
Monastery at the front and a stable as well. So obviously going to try and get the heals as much as he can.
And Tato
Forging on
comes
the way.
in to save
In comes
the day.
Tato.
Yeah, he saves the day. He'll kill the forward villager. He'll kill 2 mangonels. And Viper keeps those crossbows alive in the end. If Viper can mass enough cav archers with the knights from Tato, they can hold from the sling, and just like that, this game changes. Now, let's not forget about the fact that Vivi has the crossbows, Turkmen.
That's legitimately what I'm watching just stomp across the map at the moment. It's a good save, absolutely. Will they be able to hold it? That's the next question we kind of need to be asking ourselves. Obviously, the cavalry archers, good amount of bulk to them overall. However, going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to the range overall. Those monks potentially going to be able to get a couple of converts here. It looks like they will pop right on top, though. And those cavalry archers, there's a couple of freebies.
Yep, cav archers go down. This monk goes for a conversion. There's 2 of them, in fact. I think they... Now, unsuccessful with the conversions, and Viper has to retreat from his hill. Tato has to retreat from the hill, and Secret are on the back foot yet again. And Doubt has to arrive. So Doubt's on the way to save the day, but they do not have that main hill in front of Viper's base, and Viper will need his ranges.
That's it. It's so easy for them. Even with 1 mangonel, they can push it against those ranges, and they can start doing damage. It's not like they're just destroying like a couple of pieces of walls or anything. Viper needs those up. It's going to cost him to replace them overall. Siege Workshop coming up back from Viper as well. So going to potentially try and get some defense there. And looks like Tato and Doubt just coordinating as much as possible now.
Viper's in big trouble. His eco balance is way off. His eco balance is way off. He's gone for defensive Mangonel. Look at this group of units from the Chinese players. Viper's built 2 defensive towers. That's how bad it is for him right now.
Defensive towers are not something we usually see from Viper here. And couple of cavalry, a couple of crossbows. Try and do quick wall gates across the back there to defend his gold and defend his wood. But the scouts are already around it. They should, hopefully, if they're lucky, just get all the scouting information from back here so they know where to pressure. And that hill is just looking so deadly now. You've got that many knights, crossbows, monks, mangonels. I'm not sure how they can push into that.
Yeah, and Vivi's on the way to the Imperial Age. So I think Frantic need to be very cautious with taking fights, because the opposing team has more economy than them. They just need to out-tech them. So be very careful. And now Vivi and CL are running back. I really love the decision to switch the sling up, send a little bit of a food boost and gold boost to Vivi to get him to Imp, because once he gets Arbalest, it's going to be really difficult for Tato and Doubt to fight this.
Well, that's it. To engage that, they're going to lose units on the way in. They're going to have an amazing engagement opportunity kind of come up to be able to get that. And man, Vivi is just, again, just a shining star across a lot of these matches. You've got CL there playing fantastically. You've got Vivi playing fantastically. Tim, even in this case, he took a great opportunity that he had there. He kind of just decided, well, let's go back. Let's go to this sling overall and get CL up. And I really want to know if that was an on-the-fly decision.
Yeah.
Or if that was the plan before they went in.
It had to have been an on-the-fly decision. A decision that I don't think Secret expected. And it's not often that Secret gets surprised like this. They will probably try and force a fight when they see Vivi hits Imp. That's what I expect. It's interesting to see just how like spectators respond to the sling, because remember when Viper was receiving full sling, everyone was thinking, wow, like Viper, he's incredible, he's unstoppable with sling. But now we have it on the other foot here, and it's not that Viper's doing anything wrong. It's not that Tato or even Doubt is doing anything wrong. It's just that sling is strong, the strategy works, and Vivi now is moving in.
Absolutely. I'm feeling a little bit worried here for this castle coming up. He's only got 3 villagers making it. If it gets spotted, I'm not sure the knights are going to have the range of line of sight there, or any of the crossbows will, so it should come up. But this is a massive push. Take out the range. Going to take out the barracks there as well. They're literally just gutting Viper's any kind of military production.
I don't like this fight from Frantic. They're fighting uphill against Mangonels, against a lot of crossbows and knights. This is a risky engagement, but if they take the engagement, they obviously win the game. Viper can get his castle up.
Arbalest from Vivi, chemistry already on the way. This might be what stuffs him. It might be what breaks the game.
It could also be a gigantic throw from Frantic. I think it's
absolutely,
a gigantic...
that castle's nearly done. Those crossbows from Doubt doing work. Tato's going to have more units here. The Arbalest going to be pretty much left on their own here.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Move
They
the cavalry
misjudged
archers.
it wasn't even close, really. Like, they're fighting uphill versus so many more units. The castle's on the way, and just like that, a secret, they stay in the game. Like, that was peculiar.
I can't believe that castle came up.
That was so peculiar.
I'm stressing.
They did not need to go after the castle. They could have gone right to Viper's base. It would have been fine. That's just...
I'm actually stressing for Frantic here. That was a huge loss overall. I've got pins and needles all up my legs at the moment. But look at that. Doubt's just got the numbers now. Like, the Imperial Age techs are absolutely awesome. If you've got units, they don't have the units to use it with.
Dow needs to be careful here. Maganel. And good Maganel shot from CL. My word, and the score just ticks back to Frantic there for a moment. Because they still have Vivi in the Imperial Age. Alright. Well, Doubt's on the way and Tato's on the way. Yep.
That's it. They're evening this thing up now. We're going to get some players to Imperial. And overall, I guess, looking at the counts here, looking at the bases, we've got Vivi kind of just streaming across the map. We've got Doubt streaming across the map. I guess in this case, like, Viper's doing his best with what he's got here, but it's not a lot. He's got Knights in the back of his eco overall, and Tim's still running with the sling.
Viper's at 60 villagers. He's completely surrounded. This puts so much pressure on Tato to send help, and on Doubt to send help. And Doubt's actually getting hit. I love how Vivi, he sent a group of Arbs to Doubt's woodline. He's now doing this again. He'll go to the golds. Vivi. He kills the Maganel, and I think he has to leave because Doubt has all of his numbers here. But
all right, even then, if we just look at the economies behind this, it's actually kind of in the favor of Secret overall a little bit.
For sure.
You've got 70 villages for Viper, you've got 78 for Doubt, 108 for Tato, absolutely holding the line there. Then you've got CL on 76, 64 for Vivi, and then 73 for Tim.
The gate wall was pretty slick there from Viper, but Teal is going to get out of here anyway. They don't have any siege to kill Viper's castle. What's Viper's decision? Viper's not sending any resources to anyone. He's not slinging himself. That's a surprise to me. Normally that would be the fallback. Oh, he's trying to build a castle on the left. I don't think this castle will go up if Vivi spots it. And yes, there's the signal. There's the signal. Viper deletes the castle. More units are funneling into his base.
Oh no, this is... Tazo there with the Knights. I don't know if he's going to have really enough to kind of back this up. Hopefully, in fact, with all the fire in here, he should be fine.
Yeah.
And there's that villager should just get taken out. Yeah.
This is awkward, but I think Secret are winning this game because Tato has 120 villagers. Doubt has 85 villagers. And Viper is... He's on par with Tim when it comes to villagers, and he has some military and defense with castles, right? So...
Well, that's it. I would say all of Secret's players at the moment, they're all playing independently. None of them are relying on that sling. None of them are slinging. Like, Viper's set up just about ready to go. Tato's ready to go. Doubt's ready to go. That's kind of what we're waiting on. Once Viper's in the fight here, it will essentially be a 3v2 situation unless Tim kind of joins the fray.
Well, this would be real interesting. Now Trebuchets can be created by CL. The castle will go up. Will he go for conscription first, or will he go for Trebs first? I think conscription might be smarter so he can create the Cavalier.
Clayton Cavalier?
Yep, nothing out of his castle just yet. I mean, he has a lot to focus on, so that's understandable. And he's trying to run into Viper's base, and Viper gates him out! That could be a game-changing decision. Viper blocks him from getting in. We know that Viper would have lost everything if those units got in. They're about to be Cavalier. The well-played Viper, and Tato, he has his own Cavalier now. Doubt, he has his own Arbalest now. And Doubt and Tato have a real force to be reckoned with. 50 military for Doubt and 35 for Tato.
Let's see, and these aren't just cheap units either. These are units that absolutely damage. This is where we get the chunky damage, you know?
Yeah, the chunky, beefy damage. Now, Paladin will be clicked immediately for CL after Cavalier. That's a big difference. And also keep in mind that Italians, they do not get Paladin. So Tato's capped out with the Cavalier.
On top of that, though, Viper going up to Imperial, so they're going to get nice and even there. So we're going to have their team on just an Imperial front. Again, Tim going to have to make a decision here, or I guess CL and the whole team, actually.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with Tim here? Because the thing is, end of the day, if they get out-popped, because there's only so much population gap you've got between two players.
Which TC did Viper choose for Imp? I know people want to know that. Yep, safe TC. He'll start losing his castles. Nothing that he can really do about that except delay. And I have to say, Vivi's done a great job to pull back and not get overwhelmed by Doubt and by Tato. So he recognized it was coming, and then here comes CL. The Paladin's halfway completed. This is quite a game 5, my friends. Quite a game 5. Still don't know how to call this, as Viper's losing castles, Vivi's losing villagers, and Vivi's losing a ton of map control.
I think the thing's going to be more than anything. You've still got a whole bunch of Cavalier. You've still got a whole bunch of Arbalists sitting outside Viper's base. CL's there with Trebuchets. What does Viper have to defend against us now? He's got a couple of Cavalier from Tato. Everything else is on the other side of the map. This may be... Whoa, I'm not sure exactly how to call this one, but this is going to be very trade sufficient.
Really hard to judge, huh? And I wonder if CL expects Viper to be on the way to Imp, and he went in for that Imp TC, which unfortunately would have been the wrong guess. Be funny to ask him afterwards. The fight on both sides, Arbalists and Paladins. Now, Doubt has more Arbalists, and Arbalists are going to be really strong with the buildings there. But the buildings are deleted. And if the market's deleted, if the barracks is deleted, I think that Secret will lose this fight. It's so hard to tell. Doubt even has a hill. Maybe not. I think Doubt will win.
Holding up.
I think Doubt will win.
Unit for unit here.
It's just crazy.
But Viper's TCs right now.
Crazy
the Paladins are on top
fight.
as well. The Cavalier trying to get there.
Genoese crossbow.
This is so neck and neck.
Genoese crossbow from Tato. And with Genoese crossbow, he has the counter to the Paladins. Just a matter of if Viper can be saved. The Viper is going to go the Tarkin route. He's going Elite Tarkin. He's making a few of them now.
Tarkin! What is this madness we're seeing here? This is fantastic. Doubt, look at that. Oh man, in Vivi's base, look at how many Arbalists are left for Doubt.
It's too many. Vivi doesn't have a response to that, and CL doesn't have the Paladin numbers. And Doubt will build another castle. Oh god, they're both looking to get this hill, but Doubt will have a castle there. Can Viper hold on?
Oh man.
Can Doubt hold on? Can Tata hold on? Seems like they are for now.
All the stable production.
Yeah.
All the stable production in the back for Viper. All these Tarkins coming to flood, man.
Yep. Well, it's out.
Wow.
Possibly going a bit too farther into the towers. He'll pull back to the hill. He'll get his castle up. Vivi, that is a Vivi castle if I've ever seen one. Castle will be completed. And what I like from CL is he's sending the Paladins into different areas. So he's keeping Secret on the back foot. And now Viper loses a castle. And Tato could be next to lose a castle. And he needs both of these castles to make the Genoese crossbow.
Man, Viper's back in the game now. Look at the amount of Tarkins he's got out in field. This is great. Pushing it back. Doesn't need to rely on the support from Tato and Doubt anymore, which means Tato and Doubt can do their own thing. And Doubt's thing thus far has pretty much been crushing Vivi as much as possible. But in comes the Paladin stream from CL against his castle.
Oh, Doubt could be overwhelmed here. This is huge. This is huge. If Doubt doesn't get in the castle... Okay, he just gets by so he can hop into the castle and out the other side. So luckily for him, he saves most of his numbers. But that castle could die. Doubt loses villagers. On the other side, we have the Tarkins engaging versus the Arbalists. The Paladins are there. The Genoese crossbow are there. I think Tato and Viper are going to clean this up. But it is so close, Turkman. It is so close.
Well, it's turned essentially into a 2v3 scenario here. You've got three players running around with armies. Viper can defend himself. He's showing that here. With the assistance of Tato, he's been able to take this out. He's pretty much dealing with most of it. But that said, he needs those Genoese back in there, Tato.
Wow, Tato loses the castle. There's another castle he's building right there on that hill. So they're obviously confident that they can push this hill back. What Vivi needs is buildings on this side, and he recognizes that. He will add more archers here. They need an answer to the Genoese crossbow.
Oh man, I'm looking at this right now, and Doubt has lost his castle. He's lost all his Arbalists there as well.
Wow.
This is just back and forth.
Really is. Really is, and it's all about the castles now. If Tato loses the castles, Secret loses this game. Tim is
Come
full
on, those Genoese
swing.
crossbowmen. That's a good hold, but at the end of the day, there's a trebuchet there. Holding will not be enough. They have to push out against it. Tarkin getting one. Potentially going to redirect onto the second there as well.
Yeah,
no,
nice job
not
from
on the
Viper.
micro control.
Nice job from Viper. He will get that one Treb. There's two remaining now. Vivi needs the Arbs. Here come the Arbs. If Vivi has Arbalists, this Genoese crossbow will die.
Better, Viper in the back, knocking CL off his gold mine there as well, killing a bunch of villagers and just delaying that, so can hopefully get a little bit of an advantage there.
Yep.
Oh, the
There's a lot
trebuchets
going
need to
on
be
at the
dealt with.
moment. A lot of Paladins just died to the Genoese crossbow. A lot of Paladins just died to the Genoese crossbow. But it's just a matter of the
outside
castles.
Doubt's base. We've got castle coming down from Vivi and a Paladin's push about to happen.
Oh my god. And Doubt can't fight this, man. Doubt can't fight this. That's a crazy thing. Doubt could actually die here. And he has 175 population. The Viper is just He's resorting to picking off trebuchets when he can. He's on trebuchet sniping duty.
Hey, look, if it's working, it's keeping that castle up, and that's what this is. Like I said, you can't hold against the trebuchets. Against paladins, you can.
Oh, this engagement could be so good.
Stay.
Yeah, the castle stays. So many paladins die. Another trebuchet goes down. And now we're really seeing how it's 3 players versus 2. Tim, he's going to Castle Age. He will not have the resources to go to Imp when he gets there. I'm not sure what the play will be. There's just so many things going on right now because there's so much emphasis on the corners and the trade. You can see the trade now from Doubt is running right where CL is building his own market, and Viper's there. It is insanity, but Secret have the lead. Secret have the lead
there
for
we
sure.
go. Look at Doubt fending this off. He got the helbs. That was a massacre of paladins. Absolute massacre.
It's Secret's game to lose now. Secret should have this. All players in the Imperial Age, all players with their ideal techs, and meanwhile Frantic are probably kicking themselves. I don't know why they fought up that hill in early Imp. It all comes down to them losing their momentum. The Tarkans will kill the Arbalest and the Skirmishers. And I think it could just be a matter of time now. Look at Tato mopping up these Paladins in Viper's base.
Man, those Genoese crossbowmen are just doing work this game. If you ever want to see a unique unit in its prime, this is the game to look at. The way these have managed to hold against so many different compositions has been absolutely incredible. The trade is up as well. How are we looking in terms of trade? It looks like Frantic are just starting to start theirs.
Yeah.
And I would say, looking at it, even then, it's so close. Secret ahead by literally a hair.
Yeah, well, I think Vivi is really stretched now. He's on the right-hand side, which is fantastic, but he's needed on the left. They need archers on the left, and they don't have that. It's just paladins. And even if they add archers on the left, Viper's Tarkans, that's going to be the answer to that, right? It's very complicated.
Absolutely.
It's very complicated.
And that's the thing. It's so interesting to see players having to go left to right, right to left. They have to get the compositions right here when they're actually going for an engagement. You can see Viper's moving all those Tarkans over towards Doubt. You can see the Paladins trailing him as well. Tato's got Genoese crossbowmen defending Viper. Viper's about to be defending Doubt with Tarkans. It's fantastic.
Viper is losing a lot of his economy to these Paladins. Tato doesn't have the mobility to catch up with these things. And Viper's down to 69 villagers, 88 population. And Vivi's back. He is back, and he's looking for some action. Now, he might have lost a little bit on the right-hand side. Actually, he's going to lose more because Viper arrives here. What a game. What a game.
Oh, this is what you want out of the final game. It's been so back and forth. No one's been able to call it. Again, Viper is trying to do a little bit of raiding here, a little bit of raiding there, wherever he can kind of get one unit into. But those Paladins are going to be deadly versus the Skirmishers and Arbalest.
I think maybe if Frantic can hold this hill on the right and continue pushing on the left, or at least raiding Viper's open base on the left, they'll be very happy. But it's going to be more difficult now as Viper stonewalls up this area where the trade is.
Oh man, this has been beautiful. Those skirmishers, everything retreating back to the hill as best as possible.
Just a much safer situation for Secret because they have all that trade flowing. So every gold unit that Frantic loses is difficult for them to replenish their forces. Population's actually much higher as a team for the Secret players.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for Tim to jump back into the fight here, but the thing is, they haven't established that trade, so he needs to basically keep this one as open as possible. Needs to keep supplying his allies with resources here so they can essentially keep defending. The moment he stops, it might drop entirely.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain if Tim stops slinging now, then his allies die, you know? The only time you can really stop the sling and get into the game is if you're ahead. And I would not say they're ahead here at all, as Viper and Tato have stabilized on the left, and Doubt is at least holding on the right.
Man, those Genoese crossbowmen, it is just a ball of death at the moment. It's just Paladin after Paladin. It's all they've really got on this side. Like you've said, Vivi just does not have any production over here. Everything has to literally walk across the map to get there. It's
such a difficult, mix of counters, because sure, Vivi needs the Arbs and the Skirms to kill the Genoese crossbow, but then Viper has the Tarkans, and these Tarkans have such high pierce armor that the Arbs and Skirms barely scratch them. So sure, that's what Vivi needs, but with what Viper has, that's almost impossible. What they need is Tim in this game at some point. So maybe the Chinese players just need to hold, for a long time. trade themselves, and then eventually get to the same composition. And if they can hold for a while, I'll be quite impressed with them. I have been impressed with them this whole series. But, okay, this is where we had to restore, right?
Yep, don't worry. We've got the end of this.
Woo!
Don't stress, ladies and gentlemen. We're on this. We knew this was coming.
I had a mini heart attack. Yeah, apparently there was a drop at this stage. So we're going to restore. Well, let's do this now. Let's not make the people wait. And we have part 2. Yep. 3, 2, 1. Boom. We're not going to do the whole we're ready to rock thing because we have the game.
It's just too tense.
It's too tense. Yeah. Look on the left-hand side. CL has a castle there. I wonder if they can get through. Look, he's making a petard. He wants to get through to that trade route.
If they can get in there, it's a good sign.
They're going in. Look. I mean, they could completely be wiped on the front, but they're going to go in with paladins and ranged units. They know they're behind in trade, and they're going right on in.
The Genoese crossbowmen from Tattoo are already on the way. They sense this one coming. Viper's trying to get a castle up there with a single villager, moving some more in to kind of defend this one, but the paladins are in play.
Yeah, but the Genoese crossbow are here. Tattoo expects this. And these Genoese crossbow, man, they're so incredibly strong.
In come the skirms and the arbs, so they're going to be able to sit behind it.
Yep. This will pull Viper back.
Man.
Viper's needed now. Viper needs to get Tarkin numbers here. They can't push on the front. They need Viper to be where he is. Look at the dead vills for Tato and Viper. From the rating from CL, there's so many moments that add up here. I just think that
they're doing damage.
The Genoese crossbow.
Viper's sending more villagers. Gonna try and push that castle up. The Tarkin's behind. They can't retreat.
Incredible movement from Viper to block off the retreat, and these Genoese crossbow are just too strong. Look at this, man. This is domination from Secret. It's almost unstoppable. I can't see them pushing Secret with this many Genoese crossbow. This is just insanity.
That's it. Vivi's not here to be able to kind of go toe for toe with this one.
Yeah.
And of course, those Tarkins going to bring down that castle so quickly.
Yeah, Doubt is still alive and well on the right-hand side at 200 population. He has 23 trade carts. Tato has 37. Viper has 7. There's some trade going for China, but what they need is Tim in the game, and look who's on the way to the Imperial Age.
How has Doubt survived this one? This amazes me. I know he's the absolute king when it comes to this game. He's been here for so long. He's seen all of it. But to be right next to Vivi this entire time, and he's just kind of got away with it.
He's also fighting against full skirms, but I'll tell you what, when Viper sends over one Tarkin, one Hussar, it's so helpful, and Viper will kill a Bombard Cannon. Doubt will win this fight, and Tim is looking to get into the game, but I feel like the Frantic team is going to get pushed back too much by the time he gets to his units.
They're like, man, we need those Italian Genoese crossbowmen, man. They're absolutely gutting us. Get some castles up. So he's getting them up. Could it be too little too late?
Would be an incredible game, wouldn't it? If they're able to come back here and get Tim in this game, it would be an incredible game. One of the best for sure. And Tato...
Oh, this has been just one of the best games in the entire tournament thus far. This has been so back and forth everywhere. Messy.
Vivi is really struggling, though. He's losing multiple castles on the front. He's only at 140 pop. He doesn't have a lot of vills now. He doesn't even have the trade numbers he needs. So he really has to fall back to his base, I think. And the same could be said for CL. After they lost those numbers, they didn't have the resources to get back into this. And I think Tato and Viper could run right into CL's base in a bit.
Tarkin's just doing what Tarkin's doing. That's demolishing buildings on the way through. Siege Rams getting in there as well. The thing with the Tarkins is they're just so effective against everything. Obviously not the best trade versus Paladin, but they've got enough HP they can kind of bulk for it as well.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Tim has 3 castles on the left. He's making elite Genoese crossbow. This is going to make things interesting.
It's an answer to those... Man, it's an answer to the Hussar. It's an answer to the Tarkins. Like,
yeah.
This is good.
But Doubt has a huge ball of arbs that he could help with. And Tato's at 75 military, so you need to have about 72 more Genoese crossbow to be on par with Tato. And by then, I think the castles will die to the siege rams.
Well, they've seen it.
Yeah.
They're obviously going to push into it because the siege ram's there, and if they get rid of this, that's kind of like the last, I guess, X factor that, like, Frantic had to play, right?
Yep.
From here, it's just a fight. Eventually, it'll win out.
And Vivi doesn't have resources from Tim's sling because Tim's trying to fight, and now Vivi's getting completely wiped. I think Secret's going to take this.
I think it can't be too far away now as well, because they're just going to be able to go through it. Literally, the castles are in a perfect line, so the units are going to go through in a perfect line. They've got the siege rams there. Everyone's doing everything they can, but look at it. The rating's going to be open for CL. A couple of Hussar in there, and look at those farms, man. How fast they're all going to fall.
Yeah, Bombard Towers for Tato. Tato has played incredibly well this game. He's fought on both sides. He's been helpful on both sides. He's the reason that Viper was able to get to Tarkins. And that sling was so strong initially from Frantic. I just can't help it, and we'll talk about it in the post-match comments, but just can't help but think that that initial fight was a huge waste, and I don't think we ever needed to get to this point. I think Frantic had an opportunity, and they wasted it.
Small amount of Genoese crossbowmen that Tim have, they're absolutely doing work right now. Taking out so many of those Tarkins, but of course the mass of its just elite Genoese crossbowmen's coming in for Tato now. They'll clean the rest of these guys up.
They can't kill the Rams. The Genoese crossbow cannot kill the Rams. They cannot kill the Trebs. So this castle will go down, and Tim will be on 0 castles then. Viper's getting Paladin. So Viper hasn't really been needed over the last couple moments, you know? He's been fixing his population, and he's going to send some help to Doubt on the right, who also he doesn't really need help. I think it's just a matter of time. Yeah.
That's it. They've got the stables there. They're ready to go, which is probably the biggest thing CL was missing on this side. A couple of extra archeries from Vivian. He probably would have been in a good position. The effect, the amount of reinforcement time that would have saved. It means they could have taken so many more engagements. They wouldn't have been in such a better place. Tato moving forward with some villagers to those Genoese crossbowmen. What's he up to? That's the real question.
Well,
Bombard.
What Secret could do is they could go right to the enemy trade. Just go right in. There's nothing stopping them. They don't need to do that right now. I think they will win this game in normal fashion. But if they get through to the trade, it's obviously even more difficult for a team who's not finding any answers right now.
I'm waiting for the Paladins just to kind of go into CL's base. Literally just like 4 or 5 of them just to kind of start cleaning up villages here and there. Legit just be annoying. And that's all they need to do at this stage. Because if you check it out, the trade is just beyond where Doubt's kind of fighting right now. The Paladins look like they clean most of this up, actually. But they've got the Hussars, the Tarkins are there. The Tarkins at this point basically a throwaway. Viper obviously looking to kind of transition into Paladins. And he's got the trade to do it. All of them do.
Tato has 83 military, man. 83 military. This is just insanity. Tim is going for condos now. I mean, let's give him credit. He's helping his ally out. He's helping Vivi hold. This might not be over. I wonder how condos will fare versus the Genoese crossbow. I haven't seen it too often. I know that they'll die to the Paladins and the Tarkins, but...
That's a good question, actually. It's a really good question.
It's not like a Huskarl. They're normally better versus the gunpowder, but... Tato has so many that he could probably kill a ball of Arbalest at this rate.
Just look at the map control right now. Secret are so far in front. You've got siege rams kind of just moving towards CL at the moment. Like, they're not even, like, defended. They're just doing whatever damage they can. Here comes the stream of Genoese crossbowmen. They're in the fray.
Yeah, and this could be the final fight. In all honesty, this could be the final fight. Viper's here. Tato's here. Doubt is pushing from the right-hand side again. And, yep, they're the Rams. They're going to go through the walls. Once they go through the walls, they'll go into the trade. And that will be the finishing blow. That's it, and man, and they make it look, this has been an intense game, but right now, they're just making it look like it's been under control the entire time. This is what they wanted. In reality, there was so many points where this could have gone either way. It's been absolutely insane. Yeah, Viper was absolutely surprised earlier. I think Secret were surprised by the strategy. They didn't react like you normally would if Sling was involved, but, you know, once they realized, they built the castle on the hill. Sure, you have to say that Frantic made a mistake there by going up the hill the way they did, not just avoiding the castle, but good teams, good players force mistakes, right? And that's exactly what Tato, Doubt, and Viper did here. That's it. I'm not even forcing mistakes. They just took every single little opportunity they could find, and that's what pulled them ahead here. They made these little things work for them. If it wasn't a mistake, they found an opening. They forced a transition, and... I don't know where this could have gone any differently, in all honesty. Like, the thing is, they had Tim slinging the moment Tim kind of stopped and tried to get in there. I guess if Tim kind of massed up some more Genoese crossbowmen, could have been a little bit of a better story. But, you know, Secret were all over that. They saw the castles. They knew what was kind of happening there.
And they just decided, well, let's get rid of this threat before it even begins.
Yeah, it was almost immediately when Tim clicked up the Castle Age that Vivi started getting pushed back because he was relying on that sling, right? As you so often do. I tell you what, these guys are not dying yet. You have the condos from Tim, the condos from Vivi, Arbalest. There's a lot of units here, but now it seems like on the other side, CL is dying as Tato and Viper push him. And CL, he can't afford to lose his stables. He can't afford to lose these villagers. And I don't see any I don't see anything else happening. He's gonna die here.
That group of Arbalest on the trade, just again doing work. Obviously will get taken out there, but the trade damage, some of that is done. CL's base absolutely swarmed. The Genoese crossbowmen are back in play there as well. The siege rams obviously going to start destroying those buildings so quickly, denying that castle there. There might just be enough paladins here from CL to kind of clean this up, but the reinforced, look at it from Viper, here it comes.
Yep.
More hussars, killing off villagers. I do not know at this point what can be done.
It's just a matter of time now. And it's, again, it just really shows you how strong this Frantic team is to not be dead yet, to somehow get the population to defend. But they defend on the right, Tato goes to the middle. They go to the middle, Viper and Tato go to the left. And all the fights are being dictated by secret players now. And only 95 population for CL. And half of that pop is idle vills that could be killed.
Oh man, and look at his base. It's basically, it's just been gutted. Look at it. It's like nothing left there anymore. Where's he going to produce? Where's he going to get anything kind of built from? I can see him in the background here trying to get another town center up, trying to keep his villager count up. But where are the stables? That's the real question. He can't get the units into play.
Yep. Viper gets into Tim's economy now, and they realize Tim with the 3 Gs. He calls it. And what a game it was. Game number 5, Secret take the victory. I think Frantic can hold their head up high after that series, though. That was an incredible series. I hate to put a downer. I hate to put a downer on it. And maybe I'm being too critical, but they could have won the game. They went to the worst possible spot. Like, there was no reason to run up that hill. Viper was wide open here. They could have ran right in, but instead they thought that the Imperial Age tech for Vivi would be enough, and that was not the case. They ran up the hill, into Mangonel shots, into enemy crossbows and knights and castle fire, and they gave Secret an opportunity to come back, right? But again, give Secret props, because Secret only came back 20 minutes later. Secret only came back after they stabilized, and it took a lot and lots of time. Wow, what a game.
Oh man, yeah, that summary is absolutely it. There was so many points in there where it could have gone either way, and both teams' prowess in this game is why we saw such a long game here. Going for an hour and 15 minutes of game time against 3 players like this who are so united on this in such a big league tournament that people have been practicing for like every day, you cannot do it. This has been just an absolute phenomenal butt of head, especially with the final score we end up at here. This is what you want to see.
What a play from Tato, man. What a play from Tato. It is not easy when you're Italian pocket and you're going Cavalier versus someone who can go Paladin, right? And Tato, if he made too many Cavalier, he would have just lost them. It would have been a waste of resources, but he really calculated how many he made. And that's a good game for him to show what he's made of. He made Cavalier versus Paladin, was taking the best possible fights, then transitioned into the Genoese crossbow at the exact correct time. So, I mean, we could probably analyze that game all day. I've been casting all day, so I don't have the time for that, but I will show you guys the achievements here. Just crazy.
No, I couldn't be happier with that series. As a final series to basically the 3v3 ECL Africa, this is what you're after. We didn't want to see it go 3-1. We didn't want to see a stomp in the last game. We wanted to see it bloody hurt. We wanted to see people push to the edge to get that one. And they hung in for so long. They wanted it so badly. I can't wait to see what they bring to the rest of the tournament.
And look at the standings there. These are live standings now. Secret is back in first position in the overall standings with that first place finish. Frantic with a lot of second place finishes, right? And they're at 20 points right now. So if things stand like this till the end of next summer, then Secret and Frantic will be at the LAN, wherever that may be. Of course, we have a lot of games yet to play. We have SY in third. We have AM in fourth. but SY, Frantic, and Secret are well ahead in the standings there. So definitely keep that in mind as we go on to future Escape events.
This has been phenomenal, and that's exactly it. Looking at the tally here, there's so many strong teams, and you look at Secret, Fnatic, SY, there is nothing between them. One good couple of rounds is all you need for them to basically jump up to first place.
That would be a pretty sweet LAN, man. Seeing that game played with 300, 400 ping, whatever the ping is between Europe and China, just imagine when there's 0 ping. That was an exceptional game with significant amount of lag. So these are quality players, guys. These are quality players.
That's phenomenal. I'm so very good about it. Yeah. This has been the best.
So Twitch chat, I see your salutes. Thank you very much. They're crazy games. Thank you for the love today. Thank you everyone for hanging out today. I was quite stressed because this is not normally my role. I'm not normally streaming for Escape. I'm just co-casting, and there's just so much that I had to do behind the scenes this morning that I was not expecting to have to do. So thank you for the support and understanding for whatever issues we encountered. I'm happy to have stepped in today. SY at 16 is wrong. Maybe the point systems haven't been fully updated, but you guys get the idea, right? It's not like if we missed a point or two for SY, they're still not going to be in a dominant position. So any final thoughts, Turkman?
It's just been absolutely beautiful to be here. I'm always happy for the entire community, like when events like this run, to have someone like you running such an event today as well, in the absence as well. Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that as well. You've done an absolutely beautiful job, and everyone that's been here for all of this in general, like, thank you so much, especially the people that have been here since the beginning, the new people that have kind of jumped in. You're all loved here, and thank you so much for everything you've been able to do for the community.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to cast with you. Looking forward to doing it more in the future. Thanks. So guys, there will be more Escape events in the future. This is the 3v3 tournament. We will have 1v1s, 2v2s, 4v4s. There's just a lot of stuff. There's so much going on in my mind right now, so I'm unable to. Okay, Robo fixed it. Robo fixed this. So SY second place apparently. Way to go, Robo. Let's get some Dan's games in the chat for Robo. But anyway, there's just a lot coming up. Normally every 2 weeks there's an Escape stream. So if I am not streaming on Escape, I will be streaming this on my own stream, which is twitch.tv/T90official. But for the most part, I'm here and I'm happy to be here. So to all you guys who are possibly new to the Age of Empires scene, I hope you enjoyed the games today. Definitely stay involved in the community. The community is blooming and bigger than ever. We have more events. It's just an exciting time to be in, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thank you everybody for the love. I believe that we are going to send a host to another Age of Empires streamer within a few minutes after we run a little countdown. And I will see you all next time. So thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for the love. Have a good one, everybody.